Hello, Twitch chat. Welcome, welcome. This is our very first Nova Cup of 2025. And joining me, I have the absolute pleasure, the sensational Skovtrold. Hello.
Hello. It's so great to be back for Nova Cup.
Yeah, we had a bit of a break there for Christmas, and I'm really excited for some super fun Nova Cup games. Skov, have you been playing any of this new season?
Yes, I have been playing the grand total of 2 games, I think.
Whoa, beast, slow down there, son.
100% win rate though, so
Nice. I mean, that's a lot better than my win rate, to be fair. So very well played, sir. Very well. Have you enjoyed those 2 games that you've managed to play?
yeah, it's been good. It's always nice. Enjoyed the new season because my rating dropped so much that all of a sudden I'm good again.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
I can pretend I am at least.
yeah. It should be a pretty interesting one. We've already had a little bit of drama going on with this season's Nova Cup. I don't know if you've noticed, but those with sharp eyes amongst the viewers who've been checking out the bracket might have seen Widderson and Widder's son, that is King Downs and Widders. They're playing in Division 2, Skovtrold. Their peak elos were not high enough to get them into Division 1 this month, which is a little bit crazy. But I guess that's just what Double Down does to the elo system, right? Everything's a little bit topsy-turvy.
It's a bit wonky, I guess. Yeah.
But so that's obviously, based on last season's elo. I'm sure if those guys are back in the game, they're going to grind, they're going to climb the ladder, and they'll be straight back in Division 1 for February's Cup. I've no doubt whatsoever. But
Yeah,
enough
sure.
about Division 2, although that should be some pretty entertaining watching if anyone wants to hop over. I think Seto is going to be casting some D2 games. But meanwhile, for Division 1, we have a pretty cool lineup ourselves, Scott Roll. So we've got Spontaneous Combustion. That's Ashton Butcher and Inderhole. And they're going to be facing off against Look Dis, which is Mr. Slickins and Joke on You. So I'm expecting some pretty high-octane gameplay. We might actually see some workers pushed in this matchup.
I had the absolute pleasure of casting, what was it, FTQ Cup or something, I don't know the name of it, in December with Slickens. That was amazing.
Oh, nice. Who ended up winning the FTQ Cup?
I cannot remember.
Typical caster.
I'm pretty sure I casted the game, but
Yeah.
no, I remember talking with King Dance and Winners
okay.
afterwards.
Oh, so they won the FTQ Cup just to secure their place in Division 2 Nova Cup.
They won the last tournament of the year to make sure that they didn't have to play the highest
Yeah.
level of tournament on the
Oh,
the first
amazing.
tournament of the new year.
Amazing, amazing. And also in Group B, who else do we have? Let me see if I can bring that up. Yeah, we have Rampampam, so Fine and Pavided, no strangers to Division 1, and Wave 5 GG, which is Intense and 1M, who we did see, I think, make it through at least to the semi-finals, maybe even the grand finals in one of the cups that we watched them in last year. So should be pretty entertaining to see how far these guys can go this time around as well. But looking like a pretty exciting Group B. This first match I'm really interested in. I think Ashton and Slickins both very high-octane gamers. They like to push a workie, they like to take a risk, and we'll see if that translates here or if the Nova Cup kind of makes them play a little bit more slow and steady. We'll have to see. But what are you expecting from that matchup, Skov?
I don't know what to expect anymore. I'm a bit out of the loop, so
Yeah.
it's always interesting to see what's going on.
That's entirely reasonable, entirely reasonable. We'll have to see how this
And-
one goes. I think, I mean, Inderhole is certainly a player who can take risks when he needs to, but in general, I think he's probably a bit more steady and calculated than Ashton is. And I think similar for Joke, actually. Joke definitely likes to go for those more starvy plays and tactical sends and all the rest of it. So I think actually 2 quite well balanced teams where they both have a very high octane gamer and they both have a bit more slow and strategic gamer. That's not to say that Inderhole and Joke can't push a worker when they need to. They can. But just in general, I think they favour the more sort of tactical approach. So we'll have to see. I think it's a really good team to have both of those type of players on your side. And I think it should make for a super interesting first game.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Also, gonna be exciting to see if anybody picks what's it called, Sabotage.
Oh, Saboteur, yeah. I'm
Saboteur.
sure we will see it. I think the 7 income is obviously a good benefit. I do think it's quite risky in an Overcup format to have that
Yeah,
weaker king, unless you pair it with something like, say, Kingsguard, because you can kind of cover the weaknesses then. You have one high income player who can't upgrade the king, you have one low income player who can upgrade the king, and all of their king upgrades are worth, 10% more or whatever it is. So I think that could be a pretty interesting pairing. We might, I'm sure we'll see Saboteur at some point.
it definitely opens up for some different gameplay, but
Yeah,
it is very limiting. I like in the preseason in the
yeah.
one-on-one. I played a grand total of one game, but I did play Saboteur.
Mm.
And having to send real stuff instead of just king ups
Yeah,
ends up feeding the opponent quite a bit.
yeah. Or you end up forcing yourself to do longer saves rather than spending your Mythium on random snails and stuff. I think it's.
Yeah,
But I also think, like I said, I think it's pretty risky in Nova Cup to expose your king like that, where you literally can't upgrade it, even when you're expecting a massive send. So, I don't know. I think we'll see it. I'm interested to see how it performs. I'm unsure. I don't know how strong or otherwise it's going to look here today, but I'm sure we'll see it. What I'm not sure we'll see is the catapult. I think that the new unit does not seem to inspire joy. I don't think.
I haven't seen it. I haven't tried it.
No, I also haven't seen it or tried it. I've had it in my role and I've instantly
Yeah,
unclicked it because I don't want to play that thing. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll see it
I don't know. It
in
sounds kind
Nova.
of interesting.
Yeah, it's just a weird spot, man. It's like, why do you want to spend 270 gold on a tier 6 unit that can't split tank? It's a bit of an odd position, I think. I'm sure it can work. I just don't know how. Maybe someone can show us today.
Perhaps the damage is just so high.
Yeah, it is pretty high damage. Do we have our lobby? We do.
Yes,
Okay.
it just came up.
Yeah, amazing.
Seems like Slickens is going alone.
I mean, he might fare better that way rather than with joke on you, right? Got him.
Maybe.
Yeah, Slickens is closed. He says he doesn't need a teammate.
Yeah.
All right, so we are just waiting for Joke to show up, and then we should be able to hop into this first game of the January Nova Cup. Very exciting stuff indeed. This will be our 3rd year of running Nova Cup, by the way, Scottrold. How cool is that?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we've had 2 complete years, 23, 24, and now we're just
Crazy.
starting year number 3, which is... I mean, how cool is that, by the way, for like a relatively niche indie game to have such a long-standing cash tournament? I think that's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It shows the dedication of the people who do enjoy this niche of games.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I can say for myself that I know that I've been playing this game for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, far too long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing this iteration of the game since it came out in beta or early access or whatever it was, and
Yeah,
I've
same.
been playing the Warcraft 3 version as well back in the day.
Oh, the good old Warcraft 3.
Yeah. So I've spent way too much of my life playing Legion, but I've loved every minute of it. Unless I've been losing, in which case I've absolutely hated it. Obviously, that goes without saying.
Yes, of course.
Hey, it looks like we have everybody in here, so we should get this show on the road very, very shortly, guys.
Do you remember the long thing you would write in the beginning to like player Red had to do in Legion TD?
Oh, to like select all the different modes that you wanted to play?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Prophet, Mastermind.
yeah. Like a big string of text to tell the game
Yeah,
what you
exactly.
wanted to play. Any quick last-minute predictions, Scov, for Inderhall and Ashton versus Joke and Slickens?
Think like we're gonna have a tight game,
Mm.
tight series, but I think Ashton and the whole is gonna pull out.
I think
the
I'm going to
end.
call it in favour of Interhole and Ashton as well. But guys, the lobby is about to begin, so the time for predictions, brief though it was, is over, and the time for gaming is on. Game number 1, January Nova Cup. Let's go!
And Ashton right out the gates.
Straight in there with the Saboteur. You were wondering if it would get picked. Here it is in the very first game.
Amazing, amazing.
Looks like Joke and Slickin's taking a little bit longer to pick their masterminds, so maybe having a bit of a discussion.
There's a cash out from Joke. Let's see what Slickens. When is he gonna pick the Fiesta?
There is a Fiesta. Okay. Alright. He's got the Windhawk as well, so pretty solid Fiesta opener potential there for him.
He's also got Steeds with it, and Jusora and Boar.
Yeah. Boar is, yeah, Boar's definitely fallen out of favour, I think, with the addition of Bear. Because you send a Bear and the Boar's charge damage just gets immediately healed as soon as that thing dies, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Also got nerfed recently, as far as I remember.
I gotta say, by the way, while we're waiting for players to build, Slickins is definitely winning the Monument game. These pink sand badges are very nice. Oh, look at the detail.
I don't know what Joke
thing.
and News got going there. It's like mismatch of everything.
Yeah. Oh, Slickins is getting saved, of course. Ashton on the Saboteur. Although, had he decided to go for a cheeky snail, Slickins would have leaked really badly with this Fiesta opener.
Yeah, is it 67% or is it even worse?
Yeah. But instead, he's just going to get a nice Fiesta here on wave 1, and we'll have to see how he reacts to wave 2, and the 40 cent that will be coming out here from Ashton Butcher. Meanwhile, nice long wave.
Is Ashton getting a 40? He's not getting a 40 by income.
He'll definitely get a 40 post-income, but yeah, he did not quite get the Dragon Turtle or even Robo, right?
When you open Archer Bus, you're not gonna get...
Yeah, true.
You're not gonna get the 40 before income.
True. And it looks like Joke is overbuilding quite a lot, maybe hoping to cover his teammate's leak. He is on the cash out, of course, so he can do this while staying on 5 workers. Yeah,
it's just a snail, so...
Only one snail.
Sniggins is holding here for sure.
Yeah.
And he'll definitely hold 3 as well.
Yeah, he's looking really strong there. He'll certainly go 6 workers. He has already, in fact.
Yes.
He's easily holding, but yeah, I mean, even with a second snail, he probably would have held, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
So talking about holding, there was only one snail here. He's leaking.
I guess when the pixie doesn't tank anything.
Yeah. I assume you just need the pixie to tank, or the seedling to tank, right? Because it does basically 0 damage against wave 2.
Yeah. So if you just put it here instead, then it just holds. Yeah, Slickens with 2 gargoyles and an aqua here. And the Mass Spirit.
Yeah.
Mass Spirit is just gonna damage forever. Ooh, the Fiend is going to the Aqua, though. The Aqua is going down rather quickly here, and I guess a lot of damage is being lost in the Hawk.
Yeah, the Fiend is really good here against him, actually. So he might end up leaking pretty decently.
The Gargoyle is dead already, the Windhawk is not killing much more. That's way worse than...
61%, yeah. I mean, sure, he's Fiesta, but 61% against an income then, that still hurts. By the way, Scott, I'm having some... spicy information from Twitch chat, which is that I completely forgot about an entire year of Nova Cup. This is year 4.
This is year 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Jeez, I'm that makes me feel old, man.
Yeah, I get in-house league was all the way back in 21.
Holy, that makes me feel even older. Alright, Slickin's now very much on value, expecting a resend, and will, of course, easily hold this Dragon Turtle.
Yeah.
In fact, Slickins hasn't pushed a worker since wave 2, right? He went up
Yeah, he
to
stayed
6
6
there.
workers.
Yeah.
I guess the Slickly 1% league and 3 in air being sent by Aston is kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, understandable. But they are both holding here against the income sends, and they both have 8 workers now, matching Mr. Butcher there in lane 3. Here we have a Hermit coming out from Joke. So what is Ashton's answer to this power
It
set?
better be good because... Oh, but haha, he has 180 gold, so he can...
Oh, he could Pyro, but I mean, that's just griefing his build so much. I think if he goes for a Pyro here...
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, he does.
He does go for the Pyro.
Okay, I mean, he'll hold here, but it makes him so vulnerable on 6.
Yeah, I think maybe just Zeus would have been
Yeah. Or even just tank value or something, right? But, I mean, the Pyro's not even attacking the wave. Will he hold?
That's a good question.
He is doing pretty well. Yeah, he's just going to hold, right? Or at least kill...
He's League of the Hermit, I think.
Yeah. That was close, though. That was actually really close to being a complete disaster here for Ashton.
Pyro's just so strong on 5, though.
Yeah. And the only reason it was close is because he had a split, right? So the Pyro just wasn't attacking the wave.
Ashton and 10 workers now. Not receiving any more sends here.
Alright, we've got
But
more...
Pyro and Archer has some very negative synergy.
Yeah, no, it makes him really weak, I think, on later waves. Like, it bailed him out there on 5, but his build is a little bit shaky now.
Probably just Zeus and 2 Buzz would have been way better here.
Alright, Joke and Slickins are starting to save their Mythium a little bit. They're both around the 100 mark. Let's see when they want to try and get Ashton and in the hole. Maybe wave 8 could work?
Maybe, but Pyro is deceptively strong on 8, I think.
I mean, it depends, right? If you have a big enough tank, it can just never touch the wave.
Yeah,
But they are going for a wave 7 send here. So Joke gets his mole out, Slickins gets his triple robo out. In the hole...
Is there any... Oh, there... In the hole is...
yeah,
expecting a send here.
The Stim on the Veteran and the Harden on the Mudman. So even though he's decently undervalued, he's going to do really, really well here on Enderhole. Ashton, meanwhile, I mean, the Mole is so good against these 2 units, it just deletes their damage effectively. There is a 7-stack Neko, though, so that can snack on the wave pretty nicely, I think. Meanwhile, Slickins, he received a Hermit as well. He's almost certainly going to leak to that one, but let's keep eyes on lane 1 and 2 because this is where the double big send came through. Neko is going down now. The Mole's still alive there in Ashton's lane. Meanwhile, In the Hole actually doing fairly well. The Spectral Scallywag clearing up the wave, and of course the Hardened Mudman, but he still leaks 72%. Ashton, though, he's doing phenomenally well, leaking only the Mole here, I think. And that on super low HP.
That's two attacks away. That's annoying. 52 HP. So his league is not hurting the king, but in the hole, his leaks are a bit painful. But I guess they're okay.
Yeah, down to 81%. So first blood there going the side of Look Dis. And they are looking this pretty good right now. Though In the Hole is going for a counter-attack here on wave 8, where Joke on You is definitely not looking too happy. I assume he's just re-rolled, looking for something to try and bail him out here. But if he doesn't find anything, I guess his best bet is... I was going to say the Shadow Dancer, but he actually got the Disciple, which is really good. I feel like he should harden here as well, right? He did not.
I'm wondering if we're gonna see a big 10 cent out of Ashton now that he didn't send here, and I think 9 is like 9 against Violet is not a good choice.
Slickins looks very, very weak on 10.
Yeah, so does Joke, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah,
I guess
he
did He did add the Disciple, and I guess if he can get Starcaller, then he's not too bad on 10.
But I mean, the Starcaller is 1 unit, right? And the rest of his build, like you say, is pretty bad on wave 10.
Yeah.
He did okay here, though, just 59% against this 220 Mythium Send. I think he's happy enough with that. Could potentially have done even better if he had hardened that Mudman, but, you know, it doesn't make an enormous difference, I don't think. And here we go. So Ashton is going for a wave 9 send, actually, into Slickens. Probably felt like he couldn't afford to save any longer. They're receiving a decently sized send themselves here on 9. Although, Inderhole, he's on pretty good value. He has a hardened Mudman as well. We'll have to see how well he does here, because the Quadra Brute coming out from Mr. Slickens is definitely a Biss send, I think.
Yeah. Slickens is only 85 down, and he does have 2 Violets and newly built Treant.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like he has Masks and Fire Elemental. That's not the best, but
the double Violet is so good on wave 9 though, so even though his other units are weak, he's probably going to do okay. More to the point though, Joke's only receiving Income King, so he'll cover anything that Slickens does leak. Meanwhile, Big sends on both members of Spontaneous Combustion, so we're going to have a decently sized leak coming from both players here. 67% there from Ashton. Inderhole's holding on a little bit longer with the Dancer, but that's an 83% leak from him as well. They're on 82% King now. Well, that number's going to be dropping pretty sharpish, Scoff.
Yeah, Slickens is the only leak of them all. He is very happy with that on the Fiesta.
Oh, they're taking so much damage here on wave 9. Spontaneous Combustion dropping very, very low indeed. And Scott, both me and you called this match in favour of Spontaneous Combustion, but right now, look this. They are absolutely leagues ahead of their opponents.
They really are. I don't understand the choice to send full into Slickens here.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe Ashton realised that he couldn't skip wave 9, but then I guess just an Income King send would have put him in a better spot, right?
I guess he couldn't we could just do Income and then no King and then try a full re for 10.
Now there is only an Income resend here from Ashton. Slickens, who's plus 125 value. He's so bad here though. Like, his units are really, really low quality for wave 10.
It looks like he's leaking.
He's leaking plus 125. That's impressive, man.
That's how bad those units are.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's happy to leak.
Oh, 25 gold shutdown though. That makes him a bit less happy, perhaps.
Maybe not with the shutdown, yeah.
Oh, and they continue to save on the side of Joke and Slickens. So, looking at these builds, I mean, the fact that they get another round of income here on wave 11, Joke and Slickens could just go straight for wave 13, right?
They could, but
there's a Doomsday, sure, but it's another one of those where, like, Ashton has one really good unit on 13, and then everything else on his board is just garbage.
Yeah, that's true. But it is a Doomsday buffed by an APS.
Yeah, okay, that is a really good unit on 13. I take the point.
That is a really good unit on 13.
And with the Protector buff as well. So they've got a lot of value there. But if we look at, say, Inderhole's build, like, this guy just has absolutely nothing on 13. Inderhole will leak the entire wave.
Yeah, he's really weak.
Yeah, meanwhile, this Income King just really taking off any remaining pressure on the side of Joke and Slickens, so these guys can push even more workers, and of course they can pretty much save until whenever they choose now, whether that's 13 or even longer. Yeah, more Income King coming out from the side of Spontaneous Combustion. They're just in full panic mode now, Scoff.
Yep. I mean, Ashton is keeping up on power score with Slickens, and he might just Ashton might be able to pull out a big hold at some point and then catapult them back into the driver's seat.
I mean, he has insane value, right? Like, he's doubling Joke on use income right here.
Yeah, so he definitely has so much money.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see Joke just full push here. You know, just go for the wave 13 Sui push basically.
He is sitting on gold now, so he's not doing a full push.
Yeah, that's... Hey, maybe that suggests they're going a bit longer.
Like, maybe they have to go 15?
Yeah, they're still saving. Okay,
Oh.
wait, Slickens with a little bit of an income send. Hello?
What's he getting? He's also selling stuff. Yeah, because they are very low on income, so they're really banking on this next send.
Yeah.
Doing a ton of work.
Here's the thing though, Skovdrill, because Ashton and In the Hole, they didn't income again here on 13. So they weren't expecting the send here. But more to the point, the fact that they save now means that Joke and Slickens almost certainly can't skip wave 14, right? Because if In the Hole and Ashton full send there, and they've been saving since, you know, Legion TD1, then they're just going to die.
Yeah, and they are looking the weakest on 14 as well. At least Slickens is looking like he doesn't have the best units.
Not looking great there at all. So you were right.
Maybe the Phoenix is well enough positioned that it's just gonna smurf on the wave still. But...
Yeah. But Joke's nearly leaking to the no send here. I don't think they can afford to save again. If Interhole and Ashton go full on 14, they're just gonna die. Oh, he is just leaking to no send. Okay. Well, they definitely send, right? Surely.
They have to.
And you were right. So Interhole did harden his 2 mod men here. So that's something going in their favour if they go for the full send, and they do. Okay. So we have the triple bear and a safety mole coming out from Joke. We have Pack Leader and Octobrutes coming out from Mr. Slickens. Absolutely Biss send here.
That's so crazy that that brutes are just that good.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashton finding the Sand Badger, so he has some great tank value here.
Yeah, APS NPS buffed Iron Scales, by the way. 27% buffed attack speed, absolutely insane. It's going to one-shot the wave.
He just wants as much power as possible right now. They are only like... Ashton is 260 and the hole is 255.
Yeah.
285, sorry, on the value.
And Ashton is just really strong here. Like the double buffed Doomsday, the double buffed Sand Badger. He's still going to leak, but... Actually, he's still going to leak a lot. That's more than I expected. Meanwhile, in the hole, he's going for a bit of a leak himself.
This is over.
Wow, okay, Team Look Dis taking an early 1-0 lead over Spontaneous Combustion. This is not the way that either caster predicted it, but Look Dis playing extremely well here in game number 1.
Defeat.
Very interesting, Scottrod. That is not the way I expected that game to go at all. It wasn't even close, right? It felt like Joke and you and Slickens were just in the driving seat from pretty early on in the game. Like,
yeah, maybe. I mean, the Saboteur sending into Fiesta. I don't think you really want that.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help because
Slickens just like from wave 2 on just received income sent.
Yep.
He only leaked he only leaked that big one on 3, and then he had a little bit of a leak on 9, which he was so happy with. A little bit more on 10. Yeah, so...
Yeah, they just got so much done there on Wave 9. The Wave 7 was good, you know, that was first blood onto the king. But the Wave 9 was absolutely crushing. So this quadruple brute into Interhole, he leaked 80%. And Ashton with 67 as well, despite being on value. So they just went all the way down to 26% king HP there, and they could never really find a way back into the game from that spot. Joke and Slickens, they were in the driving seat, they could do whatever they wanted, and it turns out what they wanted was this massive wave 14 send to close out the game. I mean, very, very well played, Joke and Slickens. That was that was a show of dominance, man.
Worked out really great for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Let's
so we're
see
gonna
if
have to
they
see.
can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean...
Now there's no more Fiesta for Slickens, so...
True. So Fiesta's gone, Cash Out is gone for Team Lucdis. Ashton and Inderhole, they can still pick anything they want. I would be very unsurprised if they do not choose Saboteur again, because this is kind of what we were talking about, right? Even on those waves where they know the big send is coming, Ashton can't just income king to play defensive. He can only ever income send or try to break his opponent. So it is a pretty big downside on that Saboteur. But look, game number 2, it's a fresh game. Spontaneous combustion, they've got everything to play for. They need to win this one to stay in the match. Let's see, can they turn things around? Game number 2.
Oh, what's that new Legion spell I haven't seen before?
Oh, this is... I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you give gold to your teammate.
Oh.
And here's Ashton on the Fiesta now. Okay, he obviously liked the way that Slickins played it last game.
Yes, this time he is happy to receive send from Slickins.
Yeah.
Inderhole is on Greed.
And then Slickins on the Saboteur, so we've just got an exact reversal of the situation. This time around, though, Joke is picking Kingsguard. Scott, so this is the kind of matchup that I was talking about before the series, where you've got one player who literally can't king up, but then you have another who makes the king upgrade that much stronger. So I think this could be quite a good pairing.
Inderhole's role is really interesting. He's got Mudman, Butcher, Nightmare, Avenger.
Yeah, that's a very strong role, actually.
With the seedling for wave 3.
Yeah, that's so good. It means he can quite easily be like 6 workers or something if he gets a sent on 2.
I think Inderhole is really happy with his role here.
Yep.
And Ashton not getting the best Fiesta opener, but he's just gonna probably just push hard and leak eventually.
Alright, so Ashton getting the no send here, probably snipping the Saboteur from miles away coming out from Slickins. Slickins is playing a Nightmare role as well, by the way. It's not too shabby, but it's definitely not the same quality as Inderhole's, I don't think.
It's not the same at all. And we see Joker New with the Bone Crusher opener, Bone Crusher Aqua. That's what we're seeing here. Most likely anyway. That is a fairly well known combo for the early game.
Yeah, making really long waves and all the rest of it. Now, we do have Ashton. He did not have a good Fiesta opener, the same as Slickins had last game. So he is not being able to farm that gold. He does get a snail here. I don't know how well this build does against a snail. I think he probably just holds.
I think it's difficult to call. But maybe, like, if the Aqua goes down, then it definitely
yeah,
leaks.
And this thing is not going to pop off, right, until it's too late to save the Aqua. Yeah, there we go. The Aqua is dead. Let's see how many he kills now. Wait, is the answer just all of them? No. Okay, that's a really nice Fiesta.
And he knew, like, well, I guess he could have gotten 2 snails here, but he knew that he was just getting at least 1 snail.
Against 2 snails, though, he might have leaked pretty badly, so...
Yeah, I think that would have been, like, 2 snails would have been horrible for him.
Yeah.
But...
So, a bit of a lost gamble there from Slickins, deciding not to send the second snail on 2. Ashton could have leaked pretty badly.
See, the 2 snails are coming out now. But if he goes for that and a chain fist, then he definitely holds. He just does go for the Aqua instead, though.
Yep. Now, Inderhole is receiving a full send here with a Robo Snail, but he has those 2 seedlings here on wave 3, which just make the Nightmare absolutely crazy. For anyone who doesn't know, when you have a seedling with a Nightmare, it makes the Nightmare kill the wave creeps in 2 hits instead of 3, so it has effectively 50% more damage on the Nightmare. And yeah, he easily holds despite the Robo Snail send there. So, and another really decent Fiesta there from Ashton. He got a full send, only snails, but yeah, the 31% leak there against a full Mythium spend from his opponent. Ashton's pretty happy with the way this game is going.
8 workers out of Ashton now. Fiend coming out here. You do see Fire Elemental.
Yep.
Joke, but he is forced to stay 6 workers. So Ashton in the hole definitely, like, incrementally ahead in this game.
Yeah, Slickens is doing pretty well as well. You know, he's managing to keep up there with his 8 workers. He does not have the highest income in the game, but he has saved a little bit of Mithium. And yeah, Joke obviously easily holding this with the Fire Elemental. He should be able to push a couple of workers now as well into wave 5. And Ashton and Linderhol only receiving snails. Will probably have to stay on 8 workers here.
Let's see, Ashton is just holding here. Aquas have so much damage on 4.
I've been reliably informed by a Twitch chatter that the new spell is called Spread the Wealth, which, I mean, yeah, the name is good. That's exactly what it does. It spreads the wealth. Could be pretty interesting to see if any of the players decide to pick that spell. Obviously, it's a very selfless spell, which no Legion TD2 players are, with the possible exception of Shadow, going for that full support role.
I mean, I could see, like, definitely with these two teams here, like, it's pretty easy to say that Ashton and Slickens are kind of the carriers of the teams.
Yeah.
So maybe you could see just gold shared like that.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see if they do, because that would just catapult one player into like a really good position, right? If you effectively get 2 Legion spells on wave 11.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Interesting to see the Harden out of in the hole here.
Yeah, only receiving income send as well. Yeah. So he should very easily hold this, and I guess Inderhole is applying the most pressure here, but nobody really has any crazy Mithium stockpiles going on.
It's important to notice though that both Ashton and Inderhole are minus 75, whereas Joke and you and Slickens like minus 20 and 25.
Yeah, both on value.
So Ashton and Inderhole playing the value versus workers mind games a bit better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You can also see that they are pulling ahead workers here. Interesting to see if Joke and you and Slickens will get more workers here, but Joke and you just building the casket. Inderhole staying very close to value here, but he also has a D-Hardened Mudman, so he knows that he has to get a bit of a veteran going.
He also has a Fiesta teammate who is not staying close to value to think about, so I can understand why Inderhole's staying on value there. But Ashton receiving no send, he should easily hold this, and of course only Income and King against Joke and Slick, so they should both hold this as well. Now we do see the two players, as you were saying, Skolv starting to pull ahead, so Ashton and Slickens both in the carry role, while Inderhole and Joke falling slightly behind, but, you know, only marginally so far into the game. Now we have even more income sends coming out. Or actually, Slickens, is this the first power mercenary we've seen?
Slickens with the mole, and that's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
That mole is gonna live forever.
I think he does not quite get the brute to go with it, unfortunately. He's going to be a little bit shy of that. So it's going to have to be, you know, a robo or a lizard or something to come with the mole here. He's literally 3 Mithium short of the brute, so he just goes for a dragon turtle instead.
It was 1 short.
Yeah.
Oh, but the mole is going right.
I mean, that's good. It keeps it alive. It is reducing damage on the wave for a long time.
It also allows the fire elemental to attack a bit of the wave before.
Yeah. The mole's also doing really good damage against the canopy, though. So, actually, this thing living is huge. Is he just holding? He's holding!
He's just holding.
What a beast.
Minus 115, getting a mole. I mean, the canopy did tank a lot of the wave damage. And the mole is not the highest damage unit you can send.
And his fire elemental tanking the perfect amount was just so good for him there as well. So really nice placement from Ashton. And that just puts him into such a strong spot. Look at that. He's miles away at the top of the power score table. And he's going for a full send here into Joke on you. who really doesn't look good on this wave. He's plus 60, so he's definitely on the value train, but his units are
That's not
so
gonna
bad
matter.
here, right?
When your only good unit
Is this, and it just
crush you.
dies way too quickly. He didn't have the...
and a golden buckler.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll allow it. But he's going to leak.
The buckler is perfectly statted or typed for this wave, but
True. So 75% leak, and we have a Waldo here as well from Slickens. 39% against the Lizard when his mate's receiving a full send. Look this, they were looking so strong in game 1, Scogtroll, but game number 2 is another story altogether. Spontaneous Combustion, they are now in a commanding lead here, I think.
It would have been great to see Ashton and the whole play like this in game 1 and see how close the game would have been then.
Yeah.
Or Ashton and the whole having these kind of roles.
I mean, look at this now. Ashton Butcher, miles ahead in power score. He's on fire here on wave 10. This is... things looking pretty dicey for the side of Lookdis, let's say. He is receiving a full send here, so if Slickens was able to leak him, that will be a shutdown, which is something at least. We'll have to see. He doesn't look great on this wave.
Definitely not looking too great, but like these smaller sends, like Aquas are good against that because they'll just sort of clear it off as the boss is going down. He is definitely leaking, but in the hole, he's got him covered.
Yep. The shutdown is nice though, so that's...
Shutdown is nice. But
Slickens leaks to the income send as well.
Slickens and Joke are you both leaking.
Both of them, yeah, okay. Well, now the shutdown is not so nice after all, because you're both leaking to income. You're taking a ton of king damage as well. And look at this. Looking pretty shabby, I think, at this point in the game.
Jules is giving them a 12% chance of winning this game. And
yeah, that feels about right, I think.
Yeah, maybe Jules is a bit generous even.
Perhaps. We have more income sends coming out, but Ashton is just in such a good spot. Everybody going with Vampire.
Ashton, go buff your teammate now.
I mean, he has no use for any of the other spells, right? So he's either going to give his teammate some gold, or he's just going to take the taxed allowance, I think.
I mean, sometimes you just have to take the taxed allowance. I mean, he does have life binders.
Yeah. Taxed it is. So he wasn't feeling generous enough today. It looks like he's keeping that money all to himself. And here we have... there is a 180 full send into Ashton. He is 200 undervalue, but his units are really good on this wave. Like, these things just do so much damage. And of course he has those fortified Oathbreakers to keep them alive as long as possible. So yeah, it looks like he's just doing completely fine here.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't already ahead, now he's just going to be absolutely miles in the lead. Let's look at him now. Yeah, 3.8k on the power score. He's 500 ahead of Joke on You here in the yellow lane, who's really not having the best game here in game number 2. I don't know, Skov, like, how do Lookdis come back into this one?
GG next.
Yeah.
I mean, how you cannot do that. There's no way that you're gonna come back into this game. Like, even Slickens is just panic tree ending.
Yeah.
And so that's just value that's like decreasing each wave.
Yeah. Slickens needs to reroll, man. I was thinking like maybe he's treanting because his roll is just not that good, but he still has a reroll available.
Yeah.
He needs to go digging and see what he can find, because you can't keep playing treants on wave 12, you know.
Maybe they're just discussing what kind of thing they're going to be picking next game.
Yeah, perhaps. They do go for this spicy send here on 13. Ashton and In the Hole, they are both decently undervalue. Joke, I guess he skipped income to try and get this 4 eyes out. He will get it in time. In the Hole is... he's hardening as well, okay.
Yeah.
He should do quite well against this. It's only a relatively small send.
Yeah. I mean, this the 4-eye is gonna do something.
Yeah. Well, currently what the 4-eyes is doing is wasting its time on the Pee-wees, but now it's onto the main body.
Killing a double now. That's fairly early on.
Yeah.
There's another double. That was one double. Now there's still a headshot.
He's going to leak. He's going to leak.
gonna
And
leak.
Ashton
Gonna
actually
leak
leaked decently
4-eyes.
there, 67% in lane 1, and we have 73% on in the hole, so that's a double shutdown, 100 gold total. 100 each, so 200 total, and they're going to take some king
Almost.
damage as well. The
But
problem
it's
though,
almost full damage on the king.
yeah, it's a decent amount of damage, but the problem is, Skov, they were saving their Mythium through all of that, so Ashton and in the hole, they now have this absolutely enormous counter-attack send coming out on wave 14, and the problem for Look This, how can they possibly survive it?
Yeah, 600 already from Ashton. And close to the same from in the hole.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't.
You see?
I don't see them living past this wave. They do go for resends here. It actually looks like a 4-send from Slickins, which is interesting because they definitely need. Oh, of course, he's Saboteur. He can't
cannot
king
king up.
upgrade. He can't.
You
Yeah.
cannot king up.
They're so undervalued, Skov. Slickins, he's minus 500. Joke, he's minus 500 as well.
In the
These-
hole is minus 320, but with no 4-eyes.
Yeah, I mean, he's only receiving income, so in the hole should be fine. But with the enormous 760 send, 660 on Slickins, these guys are going to be leaking pretty massively, I think. There's the 121% there for Slickins, and it looks like Joke not far behind, 127 in fact. There's just
mean,
no way
these-
they survive this, right?
These big DPS units are just... They account for so much.
Yeah.
And sure, Ashton leaks a little bit, but...
They do have a Kingsguard King. Is it ever enough? Is it ever
oh,
enough?
Is it? Oh, is King's
One more spell? One more? Oh, it was so close!
That was really close, actually.
It was so close! They could have survived. Oh, man. That was... Whew. I mean, if they survive there, they actually have a pretty decent chance, I think, right? Because they got a ton of gold from the undercut on 13. They got another shutdown on 14. And then all of a sudden, Joke and Interhole and Ashton would no longer have the pressure advantage, right? So had they been able to live there on 1%, things
I mean, they would have
could have
brought
been
them
interesting.
back into the game, but...
They'd still be behind. Yeah, they still
So
would be
they'd still
behind.
be behind, and... Like, Slickins and... in the hole... Oh, Slickins in the hole had similar roles.
Yeah.
But in the holes is just so much better.
Yeah. With the proper Nightmare Butcher pairing, he was...
But and not only the proper Nightmare Butcher, but also the Sovereign and the Mudman for the best fortified tanks.
Yeah, he did have a higher quality role for sure. But it would have given them options, right? You know, losing the game on the spot is always worse than having a chance, however small it might be, later on. And maybe something like Mr. Slickins full pushing into Ashton could have been spicy. Now we'll never know. So that is a tied series. Ashton and Interhole clawing it back there with their... What were their masterminds? Let me just update the scoreboard. That was Fiesta and Greed for spontaneous combustion. And now things are really interesting, Scoftroll. We have a tied series and everything to play for going into game number 3. Now remember, it's still the group stage, so of course whoever loses here is not immediately out of the tournament. They will get another chance to come back into things in the lower brackets, which is the next round. But of course you always want to be in that winner's bracket, right? It puts you in a much better spot and a more certain path, let's say, to the semi-finals tomorrow. So we'll have to see which one of these teams is going to come out on top. Now, Interhole is saying he needs a couple of minutes, so that gives us a bit more time to waffle on Scovtrold. Are you still favouring Interhole and Ashton after the 2 games that we've seen so far?
I mean, we've seen 2 very dominating performances from either team, but I think Ashton and the hole were more in the driver's seat when they were in the driver's seat. So looking back on these two games, they'll think that they look like the better team.
I
It's not.
disagree with that. I mean, they were definitely in the driving seat in that game, but in game number one, I think Joke and Slickins were miles ahead for pretty much
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole game, right?
But
So
I
we
think what I'm saying is that when In the Hole and Ashton were ahead, they were more ahead than when Joker New and Mr. Slickens were ahead.
okay, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So we've had two pretty one-sided games, and it's all going to come down to game number three. But you think, in general, sort of overall, you've been more
Yeah.
impressed with what you've seen from Spontaneous Combustion. Okay, I can get behind
But
that.
but then again, In the Hole had the dream role.
True. Yeah, he had a
That's just perfect for covering your Fiesta mate.
yeah. Nightmare Butcher, very good at covering. Of course, the lifesteal is just perfect to put it into that spot. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Maybe things are going to come down to roll quality in game number three, but I'd like to think it's going to be the better team rather than the better role. And we'll have to see which team that proves to be. I think I'm probably still putting my money on Spontaneous Combustion as well. But given the game one that we saw from Joke and Slickins, I'm not so sure, and I think it could be closer than we think.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see any Saboteur in this game 3.
No, I don't think we will either. I think it's both times the Saboteur has been picked, it's lost the game, is that right?
Yes.
So we had Ashton in game one, and we had Slickins here in game two, and both times it lost. And both times Fiesta won, actually.
Yeah. Someone pointed out that Fiesta 100% win rate in Nova 2025.
Yeah, which is interesting. That's not where I would expect it to be. Maybe that says more about Saboteur than it says about Fiesta.
I think they're definitely at either end of the power scale.
Yeah. It looks like the players are all back, so we should be able to get into game number three pretty soon, and then we're going to find out, well, who is the better team. So which one of these teams is going to make it through to the upper bracket, and who is going to have to fight for their tournament lives in the lower bracket. Game number three is what it all comes down to: Spontaneous Combustion versus Luckdis. The series is tied so far as we go into game number three.
We see very defensive spells. It's Protect the Hero and Embargo. And actually, Ashton Butcher on the Saboteur again. He's not done with that.
Interesting. Okay.
Joke on you with Castle because there's no
just three buff
aggressive
spells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Slickins on the Kingsguard and In the Hole on Chaos. So kind of different ways of approaching this late game, but definitely late game approaches.
Yeah. Now we have the new unit, the Catapult, is in both Joke and Slickins roles. That's immediately been deselected by Joke. I would expect Slickins to do the same.
Yeah, when you have the Avenger, it's probably that one you're gonna go for.
Yeah. And we have Chaos on Inderhole. So Chaos also obviously a very good mastermind in those late game scaling scenarios, and that is usually the scenario you can play for when you see the triple buff spell.
Yeah, and Ashton, he just wants all the gold in the world.
Yeah.
He's going for 2 bankers with his no king up.
Yeah. Now, Ashton is actually a bit of a menace with these bankers. Here's the thing though, right? So, Saboteur, obviously bad when you leak, because your king's just going to be weaker than it would be otherwise, right?
Yeah, but
Bankers,
this is very
units
bankers
that...
don't want to leak.
Yeah, exactly. Bankers, units that you don't want to leak. But more to the point, they're units that reward you for staying over value, right? So normally, in a normal situation in Legion, there's a downside to staying over value, which is that you can't scale, you're going to have less money through income, and you're going to fall off later into the game. But the bankers, they counteract that a bit, so maybe bankers and Saboteur have a little bit of hidden synergy there. Scofftroll, what do you think?
I think that's a very good point. And if anybody is going to give us a show of it, it's going to be Ashton.
Yeah, for sure. Does get a
Now he gets
snail resend.
but he doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, he's just on turbo value, right? And the banker, although it is not giving you as much fighting power as the money you spend on it, is still perfectly typed for wave 2. So he's easily holding here.
Look at those beautiful 3 shots
Yeah.
on the whales.
And we have Slickens having to overbuild because, of course, the Saboteur couldn't king him up on wave 1.
And interestingly, Lizard coming out of Ashton. But I guess...
He probably
I
just
heard
pressed
about-
like the auto send button, honestly. I don't think he's planning for a
Yeah.
leak here. What he might do is save the rest of his Mythium and then go for a big send on 4, because Slickens is
You don't
looking...
think he's gonna do a king up?
I don't think he's going to do a king up, no. Not today.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to trust you on that one.
Yeah, so he saves the rest of that Mythium. We have... In fact, nobody's receiving a full send here, so everybody should be just fine.
Yeah. In the hole had a really good build for this this wave.
Yeah, he does the flower, the seed. Absolute juicer. Yeah. Oh, that was close, actually, on the banker there, but it did survive, so no misplays coming out from the butcher. He won't get a brute before income, though.
Not even close.
Not even remotely close. Will he go for a full send?
No.
No, he's just
He goes
snailing.
for 2
Okay.
snails, yeah. How many wolves are coming down here?
I think the answer is yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So triple wolf, quadruple wolf there for Ashton.
And a seedling?
Plus 10 value.
Oh, he's going for... She going for 2 peewees instead of the wolf and a seedling? Or he's just going for... He's banking 33 gold.
Oh, maybe a bit of an error there from Interhole, by the way, only sending the Robo. I am fairly certain he did have the Mythium to add the snail.
Yeah, snail would have been great here.
Probably just caught up in what he wanted to build for the wave and forgot to press the snail button.
Maybe.
But he
On
would
the
have held
other hand-
anyway, right? Like, look how much
Yeah,
value
well-
Joe Conyu has alive.
And snail is... When you're sending it to 2 gate guards, the snail is... rather
Yeah.
diminishing tank value anyway.
Oh, and it looks like Joe Conyu is about to activate Ashton's trap card. He's going for the power send with that brute, but Ashton, he's just plus 90. He upgrades the big wig here, and he should be completely fine.
Is it just me who was bad, finding the choice of banker to upgrade interesting, or is this just the better one? I guess.
I mean, this
okay,
one has enough HP to tank the boss, right? And then this
Yeah.
one tanks the splits. I think this is pretty good positioning there from Ashton. We'll have to see if it rewards him. Now his big wig's full tanking everything. Will it survive? It looks like it should.
have a pretty good damage split there. They're just
Yeah.
two-shotting.
Yeah, that's a really nice threshold, actually. The big wig and the banker pairing. Yeah, easy hold there from the butcher.
Easy hold. He's staying 6 workers. He's staying 6 workers and getting another big wig.
He's going to upgrade the next one. Oh, Lord. Ashton is just embracing the overbuild here in Game 3. Plus 175 value. I mean, he's not going to be leaking anytime soon, so Saboteur, no downside if you never leak.
His only weakness is wave 8, but he's got bunk in his build.
Yep. He's got bunk, he's got boosted veterans, he's got options.
Yeah. Like usually the bankers are really weak because you're overvaluing, but you're overvaluing with impact damage. So the swift waves can still be breakers, but if you've got bunk to counter wave 8 and 12, you just have to find something for 16, or just pray that the game doesn't go there.
Well, Slickens did receive a full send here. It was only a brute and a snail. That is the downside of Ashton having 0 workers. So he's easily holding. He got a really nice aggro split as well, but it's not even close.
Interesting choice to go for power mercs when you don't have workers.
Yeah. Interhole skillfully rolling the butcher here to add to his nightmare.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. Slickens actually did pick the catapult in his roll. I'm surprised.
Maybe it's just a good unit and we don't know how to use it.
And maybe he's going to show us how. Ashton pushed to no send, by the way. So he was super overvalue on wave 6,
Yeah.
and then he pushed a couple of workers. He pushed 3 workers, in fact. And it looks like
Makes
that
sense.
might come back to bite him on wave 8, because Joke is saving a decent amount of Mythium over there.
He's still plus 70. And I think
Oh, and Joke's just going for the income. Yeah.
still plus 70 with the value, with the wave, with the income, with the banker gold. He is
Yeah.
gonna get the bunk.
It's going to be a long wave, though. Slickens is going to leak here to the Lizard
No,
send.
Slick is leaking?
Yeah, I think so. There's still a big one alive, right? Yeah, there is.
Oh yeah, I guess the slimes on their own don't have much damage.
Very long wave. I feel like Joke should have at least waited to see what his teammate was doing before sending income, because he would have had so much Mythium.
Yeah, he's on 180 already, 220 before income.
Yeah. I mean, like an Ogre or something, but...
Or a packed brute.
I mean, maybe he's just expecting Ashton to be so far overvalued that there's no point.
Yeah.
Now we
Also,
can...
an ogre wouldn't have. Well, I guess the ogre would have done great damage to the bunk, but the
Yeah.
ogre gets taken down by the bankers as well.
Yeah, true. They're actually okay DPS, right? Like, they're obviously very bad against the wave, but against something like an Ogre, they could be okay. Now, we also have the stimmed veteran here, so Ashton taking absolutely no chances, willing to pay that 20 gold to ensure that his bigwigs stay alive.
I mean, that's a very worthwhile investment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
pay
mean,
20
these things are
Pay
what...
20 gold, and then you just gain so much value from
Yeah. These things give, what is it, 27 gold each? So yeah, it's definitely worth paying 20 to ensure that you get 54.
And it's not just the 27, the wave to stay alive, it's also the next waves where they're still alive.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a Waldo here coming out from Indashmol, leaking to the 140 send. Now, Ashton did get a 260, and he's still, you know, he only has one veteran and then his bigwigs alive. I think he still would have leaked to a full send. Meanwhile, though, we have a big leak here coming out from Joke, and Slickins going for the Waldo here in lane number 4. So Team Look This, they're going to be losing a decent amount of King HP here with an unforced error there. Slickins leaking the income send on wave 8 when his teammate was...
Guard from Slickins, so...
It's not as bad as it could have been, but still, they've lost 23% King HP. That's a lot of gold going over to the side. And here we have Ashton. He's been overvalued every single wave this game. He's topping the power score. He's on fire.
He's still the most value. He's the most workers now as well.
Yeah.
His income is suffering a bit, but he has a lot of Mythium saved up.
Yeah. I mean, his income's deceptive as well, right? Because,
yes,
sure, he has the least income, but he's getting 54 gold from these things every wave as well.
Yeah, so he's basically on par with the income.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the banked Mythium.
Yeah, 200 Mythium in the bank is the equivalent of 60 extra income.
And I mean, compared to Joke on you, he's only 60 ahead, so it's just 18 difference there.
Yeah.
Or
And he just goes for this
15.
income send on 10. Slickins looks super weak, actually, here on wave 10.
He looked super weak, then he built the Spectral Scallywag that's gonna get buffed by the Lost Chieftain. And all of a sudden, like, the Sirens will be popping off, that means a lot more tank value, a lot more damage there.
I think he can still leak here, even to the income send. I think his build is just that bad. But we'll see, This is obviously very good.
Ashton didn't have the Mythium for a 4 Eyes.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have known to send a 4 Eyes either, right? When against like stuff like this.
But I think he just knows that the game is going late.
Yeah.
Either way, so get the income stacked up.
Ashton receiving a 220 full send of his own, by the way. We might see these bigwigs going down.
Oh no,
they're just easily holding. He's plus 45 value, absolutely insane. And yeah, we do have a hold in Slickin's lane as well. So
I think the the sirens staying alive, popping off, doing a lot of damage for a while is really good.
Ashton is just in an absolutely insane spot now, though. He's on a 50 gold shutdown. He's been overvalue every single wave of the game, and he can continue to do so. And they just don't seem to be able to punish it, Scoff.
Nope.
But not only has he been overvalued, like the fact that he's been getting all of these full sends and been holding them, he's just got so much gold compared to everyone else that he also has the most workers as well as the most value.
That is just great use of those bankers.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that he doesn't build anymore. He just gets the 2 that he started with. He doesn't have it anymore because once you get
he
too
doesn't
many,
need to, right? He doesn't need to.
No, but also like just having the 2 that gives you, like, he's been getting 50 extra gold since wave 6.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Like that's a free worker every wave.
And it looks like that's what he's been doing as well, right? Because if you remember back to wave 6, he was by far the lowest workers. I think he had 6 workers on 6. And then he's just been pushing every single wave since then, and now he's in the lead.
And now he has a bit of a weak wave, but actually I really love the synergy with the Void Manta and the Banana Bunks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Make the wave do less damage and then reflect the damage that it deals.
I mean, the 10% is getting lower, but the flat 13 is always a flat 13.
Yeah. That's
the
good.
hero on the bunks as well. Is the damage reflected before or after reduction?
I would say it probably doesn't increase reflect damage because that's like ability damage, but it obviously increases the. Oh, it's attack speed now, isn't it? It buffs attack speed. It doesn't buff damage at all.
Oh, hero. Oh yeah.
They changed it
before reduction.
Oh, I have no idea. Good question. We need some enterprising sandboxer to go and find out whether Hero's 4% damage reduction makes the Banana Bunk deal less reflect or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Ashton is just in such an insane spot now. 50 gold shutdown, miles ahead on the power score charts. Interhall is trying to keep him honest. He is below Slickins there, of course. Slickins was able to at least push some workers when receiving sends from the banker player, but he's starting to fall off. And we actually see the first catapult of Nova Cup. Surely Catapult's going to turn this game around.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Oh.
It is perfectly positioned.
It is well positioned. He is going to hold the no send on 13, so that's very exciting.
It's oh, now the chief. Why did the chieftain start doing more damage? It's being buffed by the. I don't know what the catapult was ahead on damage from the chieftain. Yeah, the 2 chieftains have so much so different damage outputs. So it must have been buffed by the dark mage.
Okay,
but it was ahead of damage of the chieftain, which is pretty impressive. Like the chieftain is a 400 value unit, and the catapult is 270. And here we see the Wandering Trebuchet.
Let me see if I can bring up that damage tracker for this wave. So we have the Trebuchet upgrade. Another first, Nova Cup. He is getting a big send. That's a Needler and a Ghost Knight to go with it.
That was some good sends. Ghost Knight is going to be pulled right.
That's pretty good. The Catapult might go for it though. No, for now it is ignoring it. Okay. Oh, now it's on the thing. It is getting the Dark Mage buff. I mean, it's doing a ton of damage, actually.
It has, like, yeah. Now its damage is, well, now its damage is less than a Doomsday.
He still leaks 100% despite the Trebuchet. Meanwhile, we have Ashton easily holding. We have Interhall easily holding. And Look Dis are not looking so hot. We'll have to see what Jules makes of this one when the next wave starts. The win probability is dropping and dropping, but that's going to update. And yeah, 13% likelihood of winning the match now for Joke and Slickins, and that does feel about right, I have to say.
Yeah. So I guess the verdict is out. It's not that Saboteur is a bad spell. It's just that Fiesta is too strong.
Yeah, Fiesta OP. You heard it here first. We did at least kill one of Ashton's bigwigs, so that's minus 27 gold at least.
Yes, and it's another minus 10 gold this wave or something.
Nah, I think it pretty much gets full mana from here, just in a single wave. We'll check it up on it, but I mean, we're really kind of clutching at straws, trying to find a positive here for Slickens and Joke, because they really are quite far behind in game number 3 here. They will have another shot at the tourney. They're going to go down to the lower bracket. Well, assuming that they lose here, they might be able to hold this wave 16 send. I just don't really see it myself. They did shift a lot of gold. Oh, Joke's leaking 50% to no send. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's shifting gold and then there's just inting.
In the hole is also leaking here?
He is, and that will be a shutdown, only 50 gold on him, but it's something. But Joke, that 50% leak to no send is painful, man.
Alright, let's see how much gold these baggers give Ashton.
They do skip here, Joke and Slickens. Do you know, I don't hate it. It's a very low probability play. But that's the sort of play you have to make, right? They're so far behind. They know they're far behind, and they're just going for a Hail Mary. They're saying, look, we're probably going to die here on wave 16. But if we don't, this is the way that we have a chance to come back into the game.
Sometimes you're just going to go for that option. Even though, you know, it's a really long shot.
Yeah. And look, Joke's actually pretty good here with all the lionesses and the boom tree and stuff like that. But the sends are massive. This is 760 for Joke, 800 for Slickens, who's also decent here, by the way, with all of the scallywags and stuff.
It's just the trebuchet that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And of course, the disciples or the chieftains, I mean, are not exactly ideal either.
Yeah, he's getting completely run over. So his big tier 6 unit, it doesn't tank, it doesn't deal damage. It's 136% leak for Joke. It's 112% leak for Slickens. They never survive this, right? I mean, I know they have Kingsguard, but there's just no way.
It's a lot of small units, but
wait, Kingsguard?
They never.
Kingsguard?
They never survive this.
They never survive this. Okay. I mean, this is kind of what we were saying last game, Scott. Remember?
But have we looked at Slicken's build? I guess he does add 2 Crabomancers here, but he has. I mean, I guess the Trebuchet is really high damage here, but he has no tank value.
Yeah,
I guess the Hellgate is really good here.
Yeah.
Lioness not bad either. Gate Guard's really good. It's interesting to see if, but Jokonyu is minus 900.
Yeah, meanwhile though, like Interhol's on value, Ashton's plus 145, and they skip here. And I just think there's absolutely no way that Joke and Slickens can ever afford to skip wave 18, right? They're going to have to go for a race there, and I think it's a race they're going to lose, ultimately.
But Slickens really, really good on 18.
He is, but Joke is not, and Joke has no value.
Yeah. What's no sense? No sense. What's the sense?
They skip. That is
no one sense.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
Okay, I did not see the skip coming. Joke is minus 1300 value here, Skov.
Yes, but only if he receives the send.
Yeah, only if he receives that. True, true. Surely he just goes for the Sui play or something, right? Like as soon as he sees the no send, he just starts pressing the worker button.
He has to.
He has to. I don't see what else they can possibly do in this situation.
Yeah, Slickens. As good as Slickens is on this wave, he is equally terrible on the next. And Jokonyu is also horrible on the next wave.
Well, I mean, it's interesting gameplay. They're definitely going for those odds. So very high risk, high reward strategy here from Team Lookdis. Will it be rewarded, or are they going to just kind of postpone the inevitable? We'll have to see. This is definitely coming down to a Wave 19 race. One of the teams will die here. It's just a question of which. Also, Joke is not pull pushing. He's going to try and hold Wave 19, which I think he might fail.
He's going to be minus 1800.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They've been saving forever, Joke and Slickins, but the sends that they have are not even much bigger than Interhole and Ashton skipping a couple of waves.
Like 30% more workers,
yep.
Ashton and Interhole.
So they just have like the same or close to the same amount of Mythium already, despite the fact that they sent on Wave 16.
There are 2 Dread Knights out of Interhole. There are 3 trees and double out of Ashton. Plus all the... Well, I guess all the Howlers are gonna bite him in the ass here because of the AoE heal, I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, Ashton is even pretty close to value. I mean, it's 700, but that's only 10%, right? And here we have...
Interhole is gone, Slickins is gone. Ashton is just holding, right?
Ashton's holding or close to. Interhole is holding or close to, but more to the point, this leak is definitely too much for Kingsguard to handle. So there we have it, spontaneous combustion, sealing the deal here on Wave 19. And look, this is kind of what we were saying in game number 2, right, Skov? So it was Wave 14, I think, where Joke and Slickins just barely died to the big leak. And we were saying, you know, maybe if they survive, there's a chance. Well, they did that here on 16. They barely survived with a sliver of King HP, but it was just too much to come back from that sort of a gap. Ashton and Interhole were just
they cannot 17. They cannot 17 into Ashton because of the bunks, the bankers, and the double.
Yep.
And the Void Mantas. I guess they could have 18'd.
They could have tried 18, but I mean, Ashton is pretty much on value there. And yeah, it's such a tough spot because they can't just leak them. They have to one-shot them. The only way for them to win the game is with a one-shot. And when your opponent is so far ahead in workers, in value, in income, and in unit quality as well, I think.
Yeah.
How do you one-shot them? It's so tough.
On Wave 17, neither Ashton or Interhole looked great on 18, I would say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a tough call. What do you do? There are still the Orchids from Interhole, but he doesn't have the best tanks.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. I think they can leak them on 18. I think they probably both leak, but not enough to kill them. Because, you know, like Ashton's got the Phoenix, Interhole has his Orchids, which I think he boosted, and he has a Hades, actually. So,
but they didn't know about the Hades and
they didn't.
The Phoenix.
They didn't know. And you send the same thing into Orchids that you send into Hades anyway, right? You just send a couple of Krakens or something.
Yeah.
So they probably leak them on 18. But they don't one-shot them. And then they're just guaranteed to die whenever Interhole and Ashton want to counter-attack. So, I don't know. They're in a really tough spot. I like the way they tried to play to the outs. I like the way they skipped on 16, skipped and just went longer. Didn't work out for them, but it probably was their highest probability to win. Although that probability was still, 10%.
Very low indeed.
But yeah. So that's the first series wrapped up. A very well played one from the side of Spontaneous Combustion. So Ashton and Interhole will make it through to the upper bracket match. Do we know who they will play against in that one? Let me see. I think it was Fine and Povided, right? And if I check their match history...
Archer. Looks like they pulled ahead 2-0.
They 2-0'd, yeah. So Fine and Povided, that will be our next match on stream. It'll be Ram Pam Pam versus Spontaneous Combustion. So that's a pretty exciting one. Before that, though, Skov, I think we should have a bit of a 10-minute break, give the players time to relax, give the casters time to refill their drinks. So Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. It's going to be a pretty exciting game. Skov, any last words from you before we break?
No, we'll see you in 10 minutes.
See you in 10 minutes. And Twitch chat, to keep you entertained, I have a very exciting Nick T music special. It's a bit different from his usual meme song, though. He's gone for some lo-fi beats, courtesy of Yozora. This one's really cool. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those lo-fi beats to Income and Chill to. That's a really cool tune. I think Nicty has done a bang-up job on that one. Well done, Nicty. Well done.
Amazing job.
Yeah. He's got a new ambition to make a whole host of lo-fi beats based on all of the Legion characters, so we'll have to see if he keeps us entertained all year long with those. I'm sure he's up to the task. Meanwhile, Scotroll, we've got some Legion TD2 to cast. This time around, it's Ram Pam Pam versus Spontaneous Combustion.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, definitely, yeah. This is the sort of match. I mean, I know we say this all the time. It's a very tired trope, but this is definitely the sort of match that could easily be the grand final. And here we have it as game number 2 in the group stage. You know, it's a very high quality match. We've got multiple tournament winners in this lobby. Fine Pavito, they won a bunch of times last year. Ashton in the hole, they've won a bunch of times as well. This is a super high quality lobby now, and one that could easily go either way. I don't know, do you have a favourite here, or?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the levels of the accounts, then Ashton and in the hole, they just have a couple of levels on Fine Pavita, and that's gonna be the decider here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean,
so those 3 levels combined, that's a huge difference maker.
Yeah.
The experience that these players are pulling compared to Fine Pavita.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, having said that, Fine and Pavita, they won at least twice in a row last year, maybe even 3 times. So you can never underestimate these guys. They're super strong players. I do think Ashton and Inderhall are, well, I was going to say, actually, I think they're better ladder players. But Pavided finished rank 1 of all time. So maybe I'm wrong. I think his peak elo is something ridiculous, like 3.650 or something. He has absolutely insane peak elo. So maybe Pavided is just the best player of all time. You know, that's entirely possible. We'll have to see if he shows that here today. It looks like the players are ready. We're just waiting for Ashton. But everyone else is ready to get the show on the road. So we should get this upper bracket match underway very, very quickly. And now there's a bit more to play for, right, Scotroll? So this is the upper bracket now, meaning whoever wins here is guaranteed a spot in the semi-final. Not just a spot, though, they get the favoured spot, right? Because whoever wins this match plays whoever makes it through the loser bracket of Group A. So that's your favoured spot, and you're then more likely to go through to the grand final, right? So there's a lot to play for in this game. The loser, however, they're not immediately out of the tournament. They will get another chance in that lower bracket. So a lot to play for.
You don't want to go down to the lower bracket because you either have to play Slickins and Joke on You, or the team who beats Slickins and Joke on You. So
yeah, no, exactly. So it's certainly not a certain path through to the finals, and you always want to take the shortest route there, right? So with that said, game number 1 is here. We've got Ram Pam Pam on the left, and we've got Spontaneous Combustion on the right. So let's see who takes the lead here in game number 1.
Ashton, he is hype on this new Saboteur. He's gone Fiesta once, and otherwise it's just been Saboteur.
Yeah. That's crazy, actually.
He does not want to upgrade that king.
No.
He just wants his gold. He just wants Fiesta with a proper role. Not a Fiesta, YOLO.
Yeah. I mean, he likes income, and Saboteur provides a lot of income. So I can see it. He does have Catapult in his role. I wonder if he's going to pick it.
It did have a lot of damage when it was at max range. But you need pretty much just that and melee units.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, he hasn't deselected it yet.
But he hasn't selected anything yet either, so... Interesting to see Pavided Castle and Angler. And there is Venture in the game.
There is Venture in the game, yeah. And
Interesting to
Ashton
see if
did
he's
not
gonna.
pick the catapult. So we,
Oh,
we have seen it, which honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was just simply never picked.
wait, I looked wrong. It's not Pavita who. Something was wrong as well. It's In the Hole who has. He has Greed,
Yeah,
and he has Angler and Green Devil.
yeah. Quite a low curve on his roll there for Hole. The most expensive unit is his Eternal Wanderer. Now he does still have the reroll.
He does have the reroll, and like his units are not bad for scaling. Even like the Kingpin will go later, or mid game at least.
Now we have everyone apart from Hole on 5 workers. Obviously, he's gone for a very slow opener there with the Green Devil and the Angler, so he had to stay on 4 until now. He should be able to push the 5th here, though. Vided receiving the Snail should be fine.
Because it's the exact same thing that Ashton did.
Yeah, well, this is tanking a lot more this time, right? But actually, this is just better. This is just better.
This is just better, yeah, because Ashton was building to leak because he was Fiesta. Pavita is building to hold.
Yeah. And just more rounds of income coming out. So nobody really putting the pressure on yet here in game number 1. Quite a lot more income, though, on the side of Ashton and Hole with the Greed and the Saboteur versus the Kingsguard and the Castle. So they will start to pull ahead just naturally through the early game.
But come mid-late game, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Also,
Yep.
We saw the power of the Kingsguard last game.
Hole going up to 6 workers, 7 workers now. He won't be able to upgrade the Bounty Hunter, right, with that many workers?
No, but he won't really need to. It's at the point where, like, I think he's going to get more stacks.
Yeah, but I mean, he's super weak on wave 4 now. He's only receiving 1 snail, so I think he's going to be fine. Ah, he has a serpent as well. Okay, never mind. And yeah, there's a lot of income coming on here. This feels a lot like around summer last year, you know? Very, very income heavy games, nobody really trying to make a play, and not much for the casters to talk about other than a bit of padding, perhaps.
But we do see Ashton with the Serpent just barely leaking here.
Yeah, and fine barely leaking as well. So 17% versus 8%. Very, very small leaks. And it doesn't really favour either side either because both, you know, all 4 players are on 7 workers. So there's not like someone's pulling ahead.
Time for +4 sunglasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was so crazy when Fiesta just gave flat income.
Yeah. Oh, actually we have the first real send of the whole game coming out. This Brute wandering into Ashton's lane. He does have the Deep Coiler though, which is surprisingly good on wave 5. You wouldn't think so, right, with the Pierce and Swift armour. But it perfectly 2-shots all the little Scorpions, and the way it tanked that Brute here was insane.
Just get the Brute out of the way.
Now it kills the big Scorpion, and now it can just clean up all the little ones one by one. That is a full hold from Ashton. Now he is basically on value there, just minus 15, so perhaps not too surprising, but it was a Brute send, you know? You're supposed to leak those.
Yeah. Whoever holds brutes are definitely cheating in the game.
Oh, for sure, right? For sure. Now, we have another real send coming out here into Hall, and another deep coiler there to answer it. So we saw the deep coiler clapping the send on wave 5 in Ashton's Lane. Will it do the same here for Hall? I mean, he's on value as well. 640 value. This is dead value. This is pretty bad on 6.
Yeah, and now the coiler, like, it doesn't tank anything, and then until it gets swarmed.
Yeah.
And so at least it's gonna kill the robos, but it needs 3 hits to kill them.
Yeah. Oh, it kills them pretty quickly though. But meanwhile, his entire front line is dead as well. The brute is still there. It will slow down the deep coiler quite a lot. So it will be a leak for sure. It's a shame because I think Pavided was very close to a second brute before income, and that was probably a better send here. But it's still 66% while Hall's on value.
Ashton is just holding. He's not going to cover anything.
Having said that though, Ashton is starting to take off. He's on 12 workers here after that hold on wave 5. He is in a really good spot. He is getting tested here. Fine going for a double brute resend on 7. Ashton with 190 gold. I assume he just goes for the canopy upgrade, but maybe he has a different line.
The problem with the canopy is the brutes, or just kill it.
Yeah.
But
well, it can't split tank, right? Because there's nothing for it to split tank with other than maybe this.
yeah, so it's gonna die really quickly.
Yeah, 160 Mythium send, I mean, not the end of the world, because he has had a lot of workers for some long waves, so economically he's still going to be in a fine spot. But this is a lot of leak. This is a lot of Bert going over to Fine, who's also on 12 workers now. And yeah, 78% there. In the hole, he only received a Fiend, so he's going to be fine. He'll be able to clean up a decent amount of that, actually. He's got quite a lot of value still alive, and that's just more stacks for his anglers.
Fine is on team with Pavided.
Yeah.
It's... So in the hole cannot
In
be
the
Fine.
hole, apologies, yeah, you're right.
But he's gonna get some good stacks on his bounty hunter.
Yep. I mean, does he just full cover this? The decoiler is easily tanking 2 brutes, right?
Yeah, like with that much HP left, it's just killing the brutes.
Yeah,
it does need 5 hits to kill them, and it's slow, but it's
it just lives
enough.
forever with that swift armor. Yep. Okay, so full cover there from In the Hole. Despite Ashton leaking decently there on wave 7, there's no king damage to be done. And we have income sends coming out here from Fine and Pavided. Same from Ashton, but in the hole he's saving his Mythium. And I can see why. This unit obviously literally cannot die on wave 8. But it's a bit more vulnerable on 9.
It's going to be interesting to see if Fine is going to be broken on 9.
Oh, yeah, he's going to struggle there. He's really going to struggle there, I think. Now we have income sends, very tasty for Ashton and In the Hole. They should be easily holding that. And there's a hold there from Pavided as well against the Cannoneer Fiend. Decently long waves though, and as a result, a pretty big send coming out here from Ashton. That's a triple brute, that's a robo, just income from everybody else trying to keep their economies rolling. But the question is, how can Fine hold against this massive send now coming out from Ashton? He's doing what he can.
He did sell his skeleton, the crewman, can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, for the Tree of Knowledge, but it's just not going to be enough.
No, probably not.
Yeah. $280 Mythium walks into Fine's lane. How well can he do here? I mean, he's got a pretty good split tank thing going on here. Wow.
Going down to 40 HP.
Yeah, his split tank literally couldn't be better, but still it's not going to be enough. Now the Boom Tree dies, probably takes a Brute with it, but that's all he can manage. 75% leak there for fine. Pavided though, he's got a bunch of value still alive. He should be able to full cover his teammate's leak.
He's
So
like,
yet
they're
again,
so low after the Boom Tree.
yeah. The Boom Tree did its job there for sure. And there's just this whole push and pull like mechanic going on here, Scov, where we see one player leaking decently, but their teammate covering. And the Kings, as a result, are doing pretty well. But now we see Ashton really starting to pull ahead. He's on a 25-goal shutdown. He's in a good spot. He has 19 workers, decently ahead of everybody else in the game.
Got the Tree of Life on his Avenger. He's probably gonna... I don't know if he's gonna get one in the canopy, if that's worth it at this point.
Probably not, right? Like that canopy tree combo, very good in the early game.
Yeah.
But if you want to build it on wave 10 plus, it's just not quite the same thing, right?
Not really. We also see 98 stacks from the Kingpin. There's another
Little angler cooking.
Little angler cooking there. And in the hole might look weak on 13, but Ashton with the Tree of Life on the what's probably gonna be a Sovereign by 13.
And actually, Pavided leaked to the income center. Like not big, but it's a leak. It's more gold going in favor of Ashton.
And normally you would actually be able to break Ashton on 13 with a couple of 4-eyes, but if he gets a couple of coilers more, then he just has the perfect protection for the Sovereign.
He's in such a strong position already. I mean, he's on 20 workers.
Blessing. Sovereign, Blessing, Tree of Life. What more can you want?
Yeah.
Is he gonna show it here?
He already has, no? Oh, no, he hasn't. Yeah. Now
there it is. Okay. In the hole, everybody, no, two Adventures, 2 Blessings. But the Blessing on the Manta.
It's not quite the same as the Blessing on the Avenger, is it?
It's not really the same, is it?
Not quite the same. So we should have a hold here. I mean, if this dies, that's just absolutely disastrous for fine,
it's not
right?
dying. There are 2 Boom Trees. It's split tank perfectly. The wave is just gonna deal no damage. Also, like the increased attack speed is really good with the debuff.
Yeah, true. But no, he's fine. Okay, wait, he fined.
No.
He Pavided.
He Pavided, but his teammate is fine.
His teammate is fine, and the Void Manta stays alive. And here is their counter-attack, Scov. So we see the Quinta Brute coming out from both Fine and Pavided. They might even be able to add a couple more to make it Sexta Brutes. We'll have to see.
And if you are to break them at some point, now is the time.
Yeah.
The Sovereign is not really great on 12.
No, in fact, Ashton in general is not great on 12, right? Like, these are just completely dead value. This is dead value.
He does have, like, some incredible health regen on the Sovereign, though.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's plus 60 value, but a lot of his units are just very, very weak here. And we do get Sexta Brute coming out into Hole's lane. We'll have to see if that's the magic number enough to leak his double Kingpin, which obviously is pretty good on wave 12, but 6 Brutes, that's hard for anything to deal with.
But this Sovereign, it's just too healthy. It has
that's crazy. This is not the one that I expected to hold. I mean, sure, he's on value, but such bad units. Meanwhile, in the hole, the player with...
such bad units, but it has 10,500 max HP.
Yeah, and it's regenning 250 HP every single second. Yeah, that's a lot of value.
It has both OT and Tree of Life. If like what the Canopy does in the early to early mid game, this thing will do that in the mid game because it just has so much HP. It has 6,000 HP when it's fully stacked, more than the Canopy. And Canopy's thing is that it has a lot of max HP, right?
Yep, absolutely.
It is of course due to the Divine Blessing as well.
Yeah,
Gives
yeah,
us another 2000 HP.
and they're just in such an amazing position now with the side of spontaneous combustion. They saved their Mythium past that. They still have the Divine Blessing alive. Income miles ahead. This is a really, really good position.
In the hole is fine with leaking 57% for the
Yeah,
playoff
yeah,
of Venture now. And he's not, and he doesn't leak 13.
And his Venture just kicked in as well, right? So
Yeah,
that was a
exactly.
57% leak on his weakest wave, you know, before the Venture spike comes.
Yeah. Which is finally also his strongest wave
Mm-hmm.
because of the Kingpin.
Yeah, true.
But now he's adding Avenger as well, so he has a lot of pierce damage from especially the Deep Coilers and Sea Serpents.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
a lot of fortified tankiness from the Kingpins and the Wanderers. He's got the impact damage from the Sovereign as well as the Swift tank, so he's just cruising now.
I'm really interested in this income send, though. I feel like they were certainly not under pressure here on 14, and this really lets Fine and Pavita do whatever they want now. So they've removed all of the pressure that they had on the side of spontaneous combustion, and now Ram Pam Pam, they can just do pretty much whatever they feel like at this point. Yeah, easy holds against the income, of course, fine. Maybe causing a long wave, but not even. I mean, he's just so strong here.
Maybe they felt they needed to go for a 17 player or something.
I just don't know. Maybe they're, yeah, literally just going for income and then hoping to go a bit longer.
Maybe they just feel that they're so far ahead, but
Yeah.
I guess the pressure's building up now. Ashton is gonna be minus 200. What did he
Yeah.
sell here? Maybe it's just something he tried to build and then sold it.
It does seem to be, I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand the ways. But that income send and this income send seems like maybe the one way that spontaneous combustion can throw the game. You know,
Yeah.
rather than just maintain the pressure and just take it home for an easy win.
Spontaneous combustion are looking a bit dubious in 17, at least Ashton is.
Yeah. And the fact that they keep on income kinging, you know. Fine and Pavida could potentially go all the way to 17 now, and they would never have been able to skip 16 if Ashton and Inderhold had maintained pressure. In fact, they are going for a full send here. So we'll see if Fine and Pavida do skip.
I mean, Fine isn't looking
And they
too
do.
great here, I'd say.
Yeah, they do skip.
Yeah.
Fine is very much not fine here on this wave.
Very much not fine here. And Pavida, Boom Trees.
Yeah, Pavida, he is also
Great for
not
the
fine.
ability, but yeah.
Okay. Maybe Ashton and Inderhold just never in doubt. You know, they know what they're doing.
They know that they just have so many workers. Oh, I thought that Ashton and the whole were quite ahead on workers, but Fine and Pavida, they pushed a lot.
Yeah.
So it's very small sense. I'm loving the Witch against Fine because he has so much small stuff. And the values, Fine is minus 1250, Pavida at minus 700.
I mean, Fine's leaking everything. He basically sued for this 17 send. But we may never see Wave 17 Scoff Troll because this is 115 for Fine, this is 128 for Pavida, and they might just be saving for Legion TD3 at this rate.
They have Kingsguard,
They do have Kingsguard, they don't have maximum King upgrades. Is it still enough? It looks like it is.
Yeah, they...
Kingsguard is broken, man! Holy!
Even after the changes to Wave 16. So it's better at killing the boss.
Yeah?
It's still not good at killing the boss and Kingsguard.
I'm honestly surprised that they survived that. Like, sure, it's Kingsguard, but there were 30 creeps there, and they don't even have maximum upgrades.
I guess 8 spell is what you need.
I guess, yeah.
Interesting to see what happens here. I'm not a fan of the King Claw in the front here, but I don't know where to put the King Claw either. They do have a lot of coilers, but sometimes the coilers just die and then you're sad.
Yeah, these sends are enormous coming out from Rampampam. We've got 1520 Mythium for Ashton. We've got 1400 from Inderhol. They did go for full sends themselves though, so this could easily devolve into a race. Fine, basically zero chance of holding anything here.
But yeah, so Fine is not
82% Pavided will hold.
Pavided is holding.
Yeah, but look who else is holding.
Ashton is holding.
Yeah. Inderhol leaks 97%.
Ashton is not holding.
Okay, Ashton's not holding, but he's doing extremely well. Okay, there were 3 creeps. I thought there was just 1 dragon there, but there were 3 stacked on top of each other. 3 dragons in a trench coat. Now, wave 17 is very dangerous against the king. Is this ever enough, though?
Creeps. No, it's never. Like, look, it's 7 creeps left, 6 now with low HP.
I mean, they've got very low, though, Skov. They do survive, but on the left...
Oh, no, they live as well.
They live as well.
Kingsguard.
Okay, the game goes on.
11% damage reduction. It's just so much.
It's a lot. And, of course, the attack speed, right? So it's not just the damage reduction, it actually clears the wave faster, too.
So it has the spell is just more often, and it lives longer.
Yeah.
So it's just more spells. But no matter the Kingsguard, the next league is gonna kill them.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, Fine. Essentially continuing to Suri push, though he's still building a little bit.
Ashton has done the same.
Ah, very good. Yeah. So Ashton realizing, oh, I love this. Look, Inderhol plus 800 value.
800.
They know the way that they can lose this is for Fine to Sui into Ashton while he doesn't have enough workers to break Pavided. So Inderhol, he's staying super overvalue. He can hold anything that Pavided can throw at him. And then Ashton, it's his job to break Pavided, so he's pushing a ton of workers here.
I'm looking at the stream now. They just come up at wave 16. And you can just see Fine just super hard pushing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Big sense coming out here.
Big sense from all 4 players. Is anybody going to be able to hold? I would think Inderhol does very well here, right? He's got good damage from the coilers. He's got really good frontline tanks with all of these samurai souls. And he's plus value. That's the main thing, right? He's actually 200 over value.
If anybody is pulling it here, it's Inderhol.
I tell you who's not holding. This guy.
Fine is planting a forest, but
I mean, his units are good on this wave. That's the crazy thing. It's just not going to be enough because he's 1600 under value.
And actually, Pavided is doing the same thing as Fine, but I just don't think it's ever enough. Also, the creeps are so small. I guess there's no AoE damage, so the heal really mattered that much.
His Phoenix is going down. It is. It's dead. And yeah, that's going to be enough. Actually, Fine is doing like insanely well. I suppose his units were very good on this wave.
I think
Ashton leaking 106%, Inderhol easily holding, of course. Fine leaks 77, Pavided leaks 81, and there we have it. Spontaneous Combustion taking game number 1 here on wave 19. Very well played.
Defeat.
all right.
Yep. I mean, they made a show of it, Skov. They certainly made a show of it.
It was definitely an interesting one.
This was 12 into 17 from Rampampam.
Yeah.
And
Look
it just
Fine's
wasn't quite
workers.
enough. Yeah.
Fine had 25 workers at wave 14. He had 50 workers at wave 16.
Yeah.
He added a grand total of 235 value between those two waves.
Yeah.
235 added value. That's not keeping up with the recommendations.
The absolute balls on them to skip that wave 16. I mean, they had to, right? It's probably the only hope they have of winning. And Kingsguard did keep them alive. They survived there with 28%.
I wonder how many creeps it takes to kill.
Yeah. I mean, you can't leak much more than that, right? It was 115 on Fine, it was 128 on Pavided. So, you know, without basically killing nothing, you can't leak an awful lot more than that. And it wasn't enough to kill the Kingsguard. So pretty good. Not quite enough this time, but I really like the way that they at least angled themselves to try and make the comeback there. It would have been a miracle comeback if they pulled it off, right?
It would really.
Yeah. So, game number 2, Skoftrold. Rem Pam Pam. Do you think they have what it takes to make a comeback here? Or do you think it's just going to be a clean 2-0 from Spontaneous Combustion?
It's going to be interesting to see. Also, now Aston is forced away from Saboteur.
Yeah.
So he's been forced to pick an actual good mastermind.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, he has only lost once with Saboteur. That was into Fiesta.
True. He's only lost once.
He's only lost once with Saboteur.
Yeah. And he's only lost once in general.
Oh yeah, that's true. But that was against Fiesta.
Yeah, true. And Fiesta's broken, as we all know.
Fiesta's broken, so.
Yeah, we need Sire in the Twitch chat to tell us exactly what he thinks about Fiesta, and see if the players take that feedback on board. I tell you what, we have seen though. We've seen Catapult picked up exactly once, which is exactly once more than I thought it would be picked up. But the win rate is about what I would expect, which is 0%. So.
To be fair, one of a sample size of 1 is what they call not enough to base it like the scientific judgment of.
Yeah. Well, Skoftrold, here we go. Ram Pam Pam, they have to win this one to carry on the match. Spontaneous Combustion, this is their shot to make it straight through to the semi-finals. Let's find out as we go into game number 2.
Chaos from in the hole. It's another late game approach this game. Castle on Aston Butcher. We haven't seen him pick that one before. And Cartel and Greed from Pavidet and Fine. So the early game roll and the late game roll. But there are no spells to punish on 11-12.
Yeah.
But maybe the game will just snowball so far ahead for Fine and Pavidet.
Now,
I mean, it has to. Otherwise they are cooked.
Interestingly, I was just updating the scoreboard, and Saboteur is not yet an option on there, so I've had to put Ashton down as winning with Megamind.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, we do have those late game scaling masterminds on both Interhole and Ashton with the Castle, with the Chaos. And you can see why. The triple buff spells, the triple economy spells, they're not expecting, a big all-out assault on 11. They just want to play for the late game. And if it goes that way, they're almost certain to win, right? With Castle and Chaos pairing. However, Pavidet, he's on his trademark mastermind here, the Cartel. He's going to play for early game snowballing, and we'll have to see if he can develop enough of a lead in the early game to make it worthwhile. Because if he doesn't, the game is just almost certainly lost based on the masterminds alone when it gets to around, wave 14, I would say, just mathematically speaking.
I am a huge fan of Aston's role for the Castle as well.
Yeah.
The Siren is so good in the early game, and early mid game.
Yeah, and the Howler just covers its weak waves as well, right? Because the Howler's really good on 4, it's decent on 5.
Aston is lacking a bit of magic damage, that's his major weakness, but that only goes for early games. Because at some point he's gonna get the Hades, then he's gonna have all the magic damage he's gonna want.
Okay, a couple of King Ups coming out, nothing too much to speak about here. Pavidet, I mean, he's stacking that Angler, generating that value.
Yep. Did his Angler go down this time?
It does, but it only loses 2 stats. It's not the end of the world. It's actually kind of crazy that his Atom isn't tanking. It's really far ahead. It should be tanking for sure, right?
But yeah, I guess the Cat would actually be, since it's coming from the side, and
yeah,
maybe that's why. But the Angler has a 50 range, right?
True.
Or how is it? It has a bit of a range. So maybe that goes in and sort of...
Yeah. True. Alright, so fine, receiving the lizard, he should be okay, because Seraphine is absolutely broken on wave 3.
At least when it's not hitting a Dragon Turtle.
Yeah.
The difference between a Seraphine in the split, not tanking anything, or like tanking the wave, or tanking a Dragon Turtle in the wave is quite huge.
Okay, here's the first spice of the game. Skovtroll, the Batter Brute, coming out on wave 4. Ashton was obviously looking horrendous here with the Slime Siren and the lava. The Howlers help with that a bit.
Yeah, they're not gonna do anything for the
Yeah.
Brute. I think I have a hard time seeing the Siren staying alive to get off. And even if it does, what is 2 extra slime lava's gonna do?
80 Mythium walks into a Slime Siren. There is no counter. That thing is dying super quickly. And this is the problem with units like Slime Siren, right? They get overwhelmed, and then all of a sudden they're just not worth the gold that you paid for them. That's a 102% leak here. Wave 4 Ashton Butcher. Well, if you're a Ram Pam Pam fan, this game is certainly off to a good start. Even a perfect hold there from Fine. Oh, he's not even covering anything really. So some decent king damage here being dealt on wave 4. Ram Pam Pam coming out of the gates kicking and screaming, it seems like.
They are not done with this series.
Absolutely not, Skovtroll. They're saying we're not going to go down that easily. Pavided keen to show us how he got that peak elo rank 1 all time, by the way.
That's crazy.
Another full send here, wave 5. In the hole is on value, but his units are really bad on wave 5. We'll have to see.
If the Oathbreaker can survive, which it can't. By the
It looks like it's tanking too much, right? Because it's tanking all of the small ones as well.
Yeah.
What are the question marks? Oh, we have a Harbinger. Okay. Oh, but yeah, in the hole, this looks like... Well, he will get the slimes, right? They might be enough to kill a couple more of the scorpions.
Ashton is holding here, but he only got 2 lizards, but he won't cover anything. And even this scorpion is living, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 42% is not the end of the world. Oh, Ashton has, what, 5 slimes
He has
here or something?
infinite slimes left alive, yeah. So I think he's going to be able to cover this as well. So no more king damage dealt, which is good because they have already lost some there on wave 4. And then we just have a bunch of income sends coming out.
Now they're pulling a little back again.
They are.
Workers, like, fine Pavilion, 1 worker ahead apiece.
Now, this is almost impressive that Ashton has managed to stay ahead of Fine despite the fact that he full house leaked 100% there on wave 4. That's normally crushing to leak so much in the early game.
Yeah. And Ashton is just pulling the 2-fighter build here. Who needs anything when you've anything else when you got slime and howlers?
Yeah. It almost looks like he's playing, you know, like a dodgy YOLO roll or something, but no, this is a hand-picked roll.
He chose this himself. This siren goes down like 14 mana.
Yeah. I think it's fine though, right? It's like this one's on full mana. Yeah.
It's still gonna be okay.
It's gonna be fine, yeah.
Maybe he leaks 17% here, but oh, actually
the split focus there at the end.
So that's gonna be 33%.
Yeah, wave 6 focus can be absolutely brutal, man. Like, he's easily done enough damage to kill both, but it's split, so 33% leak instead of a hold.
When you see one that's at 15% or something, and then the other one goes from 100 to 30%.
Yeah. Classic wave 6 aggro there. Now we have the big Batter Brute counterattack coming out from in the hole. So he's got the double brute there. I think he'll get the triple. Yeah, he pushed an extra worker just to make sure. So there's definitely 3 brutes coming out. Fine is not bad here by any stretch. He's got good tank value. He's got the Harbinger to dish out the deeps. And if the veterans can keep it alive, so it gets 2-3 doggos out, should be an easy hold. But Triple Brute is definitely going to try and prevent that from happening.
He just gets it. But he just getting it is as good as getting it with 19 Mythium to spare. Let's see, it's gonna get a second summon, but it's not gonna get a third.
Don't
Two
think
brutes have
so.
gone
No.
down.
I mean, his aggro is absolutely perfect there from Fine. He couldn't have really asked for better. 74% there from the Triple Brute. And it looks like Pavided has enough value alive in the mid to clear that up. And even claim a few more stacks on his Bounty Hunter, right?
Yeah,
so
the Bounty
he's
Hunter is just tanking perfectly here.
Yeah. Oh, he's easily holding. And the Atoms as well, they're so good for covering in the mid, right? Because they've just been generating all of that mana. But look at this, Skov Troll, the counter-attack is here. We've got double pack leader coming out against Ashton and Inderhole. Ashton, he's going to be 200 under value even when he finishes building here. I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
What can he get? He needs, like, the Sirens. They need value in front.
He's
also gonna go
sold
for
for
the Lord of Death.
Lord of Death, okay. I mean,
But
it's good.
The dragon's just gonna die with the wave,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, here's the thing, right? His Slime Sirens will just not reach full mana. So they
what
won't
is
give
dead?
the... Oh, the Dragon's dead as well. That's kind of all of his damage. Yeah, neither Siren reached full mana. He's going to leak huge.
It's about 100%.
Yeah. Now,
Well, it's gonna
Inderhole
be-
is doing better.
Ashton killed one of the wave.
Yeah, 83% leak there for Ashton. Inderhole doing much, much better, but he's going to leak as well, I think. He does get another dragon out now, but still, there's 5 creeps left alive. I don't think the dragon can deal with all of them.
No, but at least like, he's
He,
gonna be okay
he did
with
really
that.
well, and he's
25%.
they both received 220 Mythium Sends, right? So Inderhole just pulling one out of the bag there, keeping these guys in the game. But even so, they're losing a bunch more King HP here. Fine and Pavided, they're both getting a ton of Burt Gold here. And they're in a really strong position now. Jules giving them a 74% chance to win the game from this spot. And Spontaneous Combustion down to half King HP.
And the work account, they are 4 workers ahead now in total.
Yeah. And they are going for a bit of a cope resend here from Ashton and Inderhole. Fine. I mean, he's undervalued, but this is such a good unit on 9. Now, the rest of his units are garbage, so maybe it works?
But he's receiving 160.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
His split dies very, very quickly. Meanwhile, Pavided does have this Kingpin here, but it's being slowed down very nicely by the Brutes. Let's check back in with Fine. His Harbinger has gone down, actually, so just the Gate Guard left alive. It won't be enough for him to hold. Yeah, 46% on him, but the Kingpin is enough. Pavided and his 146 overvalue generated through that Kingpin, easily holding his own lane, and it looks like it's enough to cover for his teammates as well. It is.
Yeah, those atoms, they might be doing a bit less damage on on wave 9.
And now Pavided is on fire, and here comes the counter attack. Skov Troll. We've got a Ghost Knight coming out from Fine.
Knight.
We've got Mole and several Robos coming out from Pavided. How are these players going to deal with these sends? I think Ashton's best hope is to just ignore the Ghost Knight, but we'll have to see.
He's sending it right. But yeah, he definitely needs to not hit the Ghost Knight, because he has so much, like, everything he has an impact apart from the Lord of Death. So he is ignoring the Ghost Knight.
Is ignoring the Ghost Knight. That's very good for him. He's been able to do a ton of damage against the boss as a result. Will he even kill it? No, right? His Howlers were basically his only boss killing damage, and they're all gone. So he's done well, but not well enough. Meanwhile, 93% leak on Inderhole, 85% on Ashton. They'll survive it, but Skov, it's yet more king damage. It's yet more gold going over to the side of Rampampam. And they're just so far ahead now.
Yeah. Castle Chaos has to really
Yeah.
do a lot for them to pull back here.
Well, here's the thing, right? So this is what we were talking about right at the start of the game. Ashton and Inderhole just win the late game if they're not too far behind after the early game. But
they are so
Pavided,
far behind.
Pavided knows how to pilot that cartel through the early game, right? And he's just done so extremely well here. Like, he was on value when he needed to be on value. He covered for his teammate when he needed to cover. He still managed to have more workers than anybody else. And even after this cartel castle kind of swing, he's still keeping up in income compared to Inderhole. Now, sure, he's behind Ashton, who's just had the castle injection, but he's not in a bad spot.
He's not. I mean, sure, he is the lowest income, but he is the highest worker, so... And he has a lot of Mythium stacked as well already. So, like, once he's sent and once Inderhole sends, they have the same income.
Yeah, true. And as well, with Spontaneous being on just 12% King HP, they can't afford to leak again. Because they just die. So if this comes down to wave, what, 13, 14 probably? They have to hold.
14 is looking like a big option to send for Fine and Pavided.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Divine Blessing Hades.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And another Divine Blessing on the Lord of Death.
They're both going Divine Hades. Okay. I mean, the dragon gets the attack speed, right? So I guess I can see it?
Yeah.
Let me check that. Let me make sure the dragon does get the attack speed when this thing spawns.
I mean,
it does. Yeah, the dragon has the attack speed bonus. So, okay, fine, I can see it. Now we have the Brutesen coming out from Inderhole. Oh, with Creditor though, Fine and Pavided are just going to be easily on value if they want to. And they do skip. They do skip.
And Ashton just sending income. Absolutely no pressure on Pavided. But his build is also just good enough that he doesn't need like even with a send against him.
Oh,
He just Pavided is oh, he's not holding much gold.
no.
He knows that he knows that just
He knows the send is coming. But look at this. For the first time this series, it's Scepter-Brutes coming out from Inderhole. And Fine should leak this, I think. Because, I mean, sure, he has a Millennium, but one, it seems to be dying. Oh no, it's actually, it survives. But the rest of his units are kind of bad on wave 13.
Yeah.
So Fine should leak. It's only a 25 gold shot down, though.
But Brutes are getting sniped.
Oh wait, is he even leaking? He's not, right?
Oh, there's still 3 creeps now.
It's so hard now to cast when the creeps just stand on top of each other. You've no idea if they're holding or not. So yeah, 50% leak there for Fine. It was 3 golems in a trench coat. And yep, but here's the thing. They don't get any king damage. Pavided holds. And they just get a long wave for this massive send on wave 14, which they hope to end the game with.
Yeah, it's definitely over here.
Yeah. We've got double Ghost Knight, triple Brute from Fine, we've got double Bear, we've got Auras coming out from Pavided, and if we just hop on over to Ashton and Inderhole, I mean, they're not too far away from value, honestly.
Oh, and the Leviathans are great damage here. Problem is that they've invested so much into their Hades.
Yeah,
Even
which is
with
obviously kind of dead value here on 14.
Yeah. If the Sovereign had the Divine Blessing, then the game was looking different.
Yeah. It's also still quite hard for him to kill Ghost Knights, right? So you can see how long it takes for Ashton to kill that first one, and there's another one still alive that's now going to tank his damage here in the split. Meanwhile, if we check over on Inderhole, I mean, he's just getting absolutely run over. That's going to be a big leak out of him. And
It's over
Ashton,
here.
he's not far behind. Yeah, that's 106% from Inderhole. That's 104% from Ashton. And even Kingsguard wouldn't keep them alive here. Not that they have it. So that is series tied. Ram Pam Pam taking us 1-1 here against Spontaneous Combustion. So very, very well played out of those guys. That was Pavided giving us a Cartel masterclass here. It was Greed on Fine, right? So yeah, really, really well played from those guys. I did see some questions in the Twitch chat during the game, actually, about do you think Cartel is still viable in the current meta? Well, guys, I mean, Pavided has just showed us clearly it's viable. More than viable. He had a perfect game there. He didn't leak a single creep for the entire game. And he put so much pressure onto his opponents. He had the most workers. He was leaking his opponent a lot. You know, Inderhole really struggling to maintain, keep his head above water, really, with the pressure coming out from Pavided. So really, really well played. And it's all about the early game on a mastermind like Cartel. So you have to snowball with it. You have to make plays in the early game. And Pavided just gave us a proper masterclass of how to do exactly that.
But also it's a really good conditions for Cartel here, because both Ashton and the whole were like, yeah, we're going super late game. And then they were just punished by the super early game out of Fine and Pavided.
No, you're right. So that is exactly when Cartel shines, is when your opponent is hoping for a bit of a slow and safe early game, and then Cartel can really try and punish that. It can have the most workers, it can have the most pressure, it can hold the sends, and yeah, that's exactly what Pavided did here. So very, very well played from these guys. He can't play it again though, so Conquest format means his Cartel is now out of the equation, so he's going to have to pick something else, and this is the game played for all the marbles. The series tied 1-1. The winner here will be guaranteed that top spot in tomorrow's semi-final. The loser goes through to the losers bracket. So let's see which one it's going to be as we go into game number 3.
That was what I was thinking as well, and Cartel out of Inderhole. So now the early game is in favor of Inderhole and Ashton, I would say.
Yeah.
Fine going YOLO to get some early income, and Pavided with the lock-in random for some more early game power as well. They really want the early game here, and you can see why. There is all-out assault, and you want to be strong for 11, 12 for that. You want to come out ahead at you want to come out ahead of the first 10 waves of the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ashton, he does have that consort, so very good Fiesta opener. Now, if Fine and Pavided have done their research, they should snail him here, I think, if they've watched the way that they played the first series. But they haven't, it seems. They just go for the king upgrades, and as a result, Ashton is going to get away with murder here, it seems, on wave 1. Very, very nice Fiesta opener. Consort, one of the best.
Yep. And in the hole with the Siren. Really good cover unit.
So yeah, very juicy Fiesta here from Ashton. Actually, I think that leaks one more than I remember. Maybe he didn't place it on the exact right Y position.
No, he didn't place it on the side of the wall.
That's true. Now, just more snails coming out, so everyone really playing for income, just trying to snowball that early game. And as a result, I mean, the Fiesta player should be coming out on top, I think. I wonder if Fine's going to snail him here.
It's interesting with the bees and the slime. I want you to see more bees.
He does snail him. Yeah, a couple more bees would do better, right? But actually the slime is split tanking, so maybe this is just Biss.
This is looking really good for
He's doing really well, yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be 33%. There's no way there's more slime kill.
33. And meanwhile, Inderhall easily able to cover his teammates, of course.
Yeah. One slime might not be able to do much, but 3 slimes, they can do a lot on wave 2. Everybody on 6 workers except for Fine.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Berserker is just pretty weak on wave 3, so there's no way that Fine could have afforded to go 6 here, I don't think. Meanwhile, Pavidad, I mean, Ashton can't add another snail, actually, so Pavidad should do just fine. Ashton, of course, he's going to be okay with those units, and in the hole, yeah, he's totally fine, I think. Also worth pointing out that Inderhole did expect Fine to just stay on value here, so he king-upped to go with the Lizard rather than trying to leak the Berserker. And yep, everybody holding as expected. Not too much pressure coming out from any of the teams. Just trying to snowball their economy.
Here. But he has the bees.
Ooh, actually, just as I say that, we do see signs of life here with the Robo coming out from Ashton. However, Pavidad, here's that Sea Serpent drop. He's going to be easily able to hold.
The Sea Serpent is going to be attacking the Robo.
Yep.
So, and the Robo is decent at keeping the Sea Serpent off the wave. And
yeah, true.
Pavidad doesn't have much anything else. The Whirlybird is not good damage here. The Golden Buckler, I mean, okay, he does have 2 wolves, but where's the...
Oh, and the Robo's killing the... Well, actually, the Serpent is not even touching the Robo whatsoever, so actually this Robo's pretty good, but he's got perfect split tank.
Yeah, oh, this is why Pavidad is so good on ladder. He just knows how to split things up.
And meanwhile, Ashton, he leaks 67%, so he fails to leak his opponent with a full send, while leaking 67% to income. Again, sure, he's playing Fiesta, but 67% against an income send is still more than you want to leak, definitely.
Yeah.
And his teammate won't be able to cover any of this either. This is going to be some decent king damage here. First blood going the way of Ram Pam Pam here in game number 3. Alright, we've got more power sends coming out though on wave 5. We've got a Batter Brute from Ashton, a Batter Brute from Inderhole with a Robo as well. Ashton, does he have enough time to add a Robo of his own? He does, right? He does, okay, just barely.
Yeah, he does. He's gonna have 2 extra Mythium or something,
yeah.
So he's very comfortable. What is Fine gonna do here? He is adding Slime Lava. No, what's he?
I think if the best unit you can add for 5 is a Slime Mummy, then you're probably not feeling too great about yourself. But we'll have to see if it pays off for him. Meanwhile, Pavidad, he has the Desert Pilgrim, which obviously is the best unit in the entire video game on wave 5. So I think he's just going to do okay. And he even gets the perfect split tank here at the end. So that's an easy hold for Pavidad. Fine, though. I mean, he's also doing really well, actually, despite having...
doing too bad.
Yeah. Better than I expected. Like, his units are really bad here.
Oh, and the Pilgrim just barely keeps the Whirlybird alive. It was 1 hit away from death, and then it healed.
Which means he's just going to full cover, right? Because he's got the extra
damage.
Now he's
just going to full cover, yeah.
Actually, not quite.
Maybe not fully, but...
But still.
Good enough.
Good enough, indeed. In fact, they lose less King HP here than Ashton did against the income send on wave 4. So I think they're very happy with the way things are going so far.
And even when they leaked, Jules still said that they won out in the exchange.
Yeah. So actually, Ram Pam Pam have a 69% chance to win, according to Jules.
That is very nice.
So Jules feeling very cheeky, I think.
Yeah. And it was, like, as the wave ended, it was, like, 61-39, and then it went to 69-31.
Yep.
So Ashton's Fiesta not really paying off here. And in the hole not pulling ahead with his cartel either.
Oh. Is he leaking the resend, or will the slimes be enough?
I think he might be leaking a little bit.
Oh wait, no, this time they actually focus the same Rocco, so I think he's going to be just fine.
He is leaking a little bit because I don't think the one slime lava, is it gonna be enough? Maybe it is gonna be enough. Oh yeah,
it's gonna be enough, right? Yeah, this thing isn't. Yeah, single Rocco just doesn't do much damage, right? They need the other one there to ramp.
I mean, it was on the money.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
The last little slime that killed it off.
The slime that could.
And at that stage, I think Ashton would have preferred leaking.
Yeah, oh, he would have loved to leak one creep with his Fiesta, yeah. Give him a bit of gold injection to try and get back in the game.
It's crazy how out of the game it seems that they are.
Yeah, they're quite far behind. Fine and Pavided playing very, very well here in game number 3.
Fine not receiving anything here. But is there any way that in the hole can skip 8? Because Fine is looking really weak for 9. But
I mean, he did receive a send here, so maybe.
yeah.
Like, if he doesn't push a worker, then he can probably quite easily afford to skip wave 8.
I want to see Ashton in the hole go for 9 here.
Yeah. Try and make something happen. They need to, right? Oh,
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, by the way. Indahol is playing Cartel, and he is already at the bottom of the power score chart.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be.
Yeah.
More income coming from Fine Pavita. That this is Ashton in the holes way back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, they need to make something happen, right? This wave 9 send, when it comes, has got to do some work, because if it doesn't, they might as well just concede there and then. However, Fine is full building for this wave 8, and those units are really bad on 9. Yeah, here's the save. So Fine, he's already 160 under. All of his units are bad on wave 9. I think Indahol can certainly make him leak a lot. Pavided, though, he's in a better spot. He's overvalue. His units are better on wave 9. Ashton has less Mythium to send.
Ashton is going to be leaking here, but that Tempest is doing great work.
Eh?
Unfortunately, his
It
one
just barely
Siren.
kills one. Yeah.
Oh,
It's still a 60% leak against income, right? Again, it's a
Yeah.
Fiesta, sure, but 60% against a single income send? I don't know, man. Could be better.
And more king, but I guess at this point it's fine. The 3 creeps go down there because it means that the wave is longer. More to send for
Okay.
Ashton in the hole.
Yeah, I mean, these sends are huge. We've got Pack Leader, Double Brute, and Robo from Indahol. We've got Double Imp and a Robo from Ashton. Pavided, I think, can do very well, though. He's +5 with decent unit quality. This thing is very, very strong on wave 9, and he's buffing a fortified unit to try and tank the wave for a while. Fine, however, he's in a lot more trouble. His units are very bad on 9. He's pretty decently undervalued, and he's receiving a 380 Mythium send here from Indahol. So definitely expect to see some action on Fine's lane. He does instantly snipe a Brute though, which helps. His Slime Mummy's even reaching full mana. Crazy, both of them. That's wild.
I mean, he is not doing terrible.
Nope. Look at this though, 96% for Fine, but yeah,
Pavided
Pavided.
is holding. He's not covering, but he is holding.
He's done extremely well there for Pavided, and
gonna be
Ashton's just
happy with
leaking
that.
63% again, by the way, casually. However, they do finally get some king damage in. The thing is, Pavided was already in the lead, and after holding this full send here on 9, he is just in a fantastic spot. He's got 18 workers. He's got the highest income in the game. He's got the highest value in the game as well. So Pavided is just in a really good place here.
This is coming down to 11-12. What's happening there? And I have to say that Ashton in the hole are looking decent for a 12 especially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But maybe, and there's no way, like maybe Fine Pavita can undercut and go for the 11 cent. Because I don't see Ashton in the hole going for the 11 versus what Fine Pavita are showing. Double chieftain for 11.
Yeah.
That's just strong.
There is that all-out assault. So players have to be on their best behaviour now. Just going for an income send. Ram Pam Pam. Okay, well there is a full send from Fine. But I wonder if they just squandered their lead here. Because Ashton and In the Hole are pretty far behind. And taking away the pressure like this, I don't know, Skov. It feels like the way that they can lose this.
I'm thinking as well that it is what's happening here is game changing, game defining. And as I said before, like Ashton and Hole, they're not looking bad on 11, they're not looking bad on 12. And all pressure just gone with the king ups here.
I mean, Ashton's going to leak to this. This is the 420 Mythium send.
Ashton's going to leak to this for sure. Question is how well In the Hole will do, and I think it's not too bad.
I mean, he's doing really well. The gun is not yet AFK. Yeah, now it's AFK. Actually, so it could be better. But he's still obviously going to hold with a decent amount of value alive. Ashton, though, 121%. And just think, if this had been a full send, like, they're going to take so much king damage here.
Yeah.
They're even taking a healthy amount of king damage right now, just with the income send. So if that had been, you know, a ram, a witch, a four eyes, anything like that, they could have even just won here, honestly. And now this really opens up the counterplay from Ashton and In the Hole. These sends are pretty big as well. They both took all-out assault. They've got massive amounts of Mythium. This is Kraken, Pack and Change from Ashton. This is Auras and Imps from In the Hole. So let's see. Pavided's still going to be overvalue, of course. Actually, so will Fine.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. This is maybe the highest Wave 12 value I've ever seen. 2,600 value on Wave 12 from Pavided.
That is, that's a lot of fighters here.
Yeah.
One coiler down, another coiler down, a serpent down.
In Fine's lane, though, I mean, Fine's plus 15 and he's still leaking healthily here.
Oh, the Kraken.
Oh, wow.
Pavided is
2.6k value on 12 and still leaking 192%. Pavided. Yikes, man.
That Kraken.
That Kraken did the Lord's work, it seems. They're taking insane king damage.
The coming in. Are they living? They're dead.
They're dead. I did not see this one coming, Skovtroll. That was crazy. What an insane ending to this match, man. Ram Pam Pam were in such a good spot. I think Jules, the cheeky chappy, gave them 69%. And then they squandered the lead with this send on 11, the split send. Absolutely soul-destroying. Like, Ashton's leaking 120% there. In the Hole, receiving 3 dinos and king ups, is able to hold. He's able to do a little bit of cover, keeps them in the game, and then they get this 700 Mythium send on 12 that just one-shots their opponents. That's crazy. What an ending to the game, man. I don't know what to say. What do you think, Skov?
Well, I mean, I knew that the 11-12 were gonna be game defining. I didn't know they were gonna be that game defining.
Yeah, right. I mean, wow. When I saw that they were both overvalue on 12, You know, not just a little bit of grey value, a little bit of yellow. No, they're both overvalue with pretty good units as well. Like Pavided has Howlers, he's got Chieftains, he's got Deep Coilers. And they don't just leak. It's 192% there from Pavided. You know, I was singing the guy's praises basically for the last 2 games solid. And then he leaks 200% while being overvalue? I don't know what to say. But fair play. I mean, Spontaneous Combustion, they made a hell of a comeback in this game.
They did.
And
they made their opponent spontaneously combust.
Yeah, it seems so. It seems so.
Shit just went up in fire there.
Yeah, that is not the way I expected that series to end, man. So that does mean that we have Spontaneous Combustion. They have secured their place in tomorrow's semi-final, in the top spot, no less. And it does mean that Ram Pam Pam are going to have to go to the lower bracket, the last chance match. Do we know who their opponents are yet? It looks like... Oh, actually, Slickins and 1M1N, they're still playing it out for their lower bracket match. So, oh, wait, no, it's just ended. Sorry, I was going to try and hop into that one, but it's literally just ended. And it's ended in a defeat for Slickins and Jocon U. So we're going to have a brand new match, Skov. A team that we've not seen so far today. It's 1M1N, that's, I think it's Wave 5 GG, the team name, playing up against Ram Pam Pam. So, guys, Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. We're going to give the teams a bit of a 10-minute break. Give us casters a break as well, because, you know, we've been talking for far too long. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time for that last chance match. And it's going to be a banger, right, Skov?
That is for sure going to be a banger.
Awesome. And guys, to keep you entertained, we have yet more lo-fi beats to income and chill to, courtesy of Nick T. Here's Lo-Fi Yoz. Let's go. guys, welcome back. I hope you're all suitably relaxed from the Yozora whispering you to sleep. Hopefully not too relaxed, because we've got a very exciting series coming up. This will be the last chance match. We get to see Rampampam in action once again, Fine and Pavided, and they will be playing up against Wave 5 GG, which is 1M20 and 1/10, who have made it through to the semis, even the grand finals before. So we'll have to see what they've got in store for us. I think this should be a pretty cool match. But Rampampam, I mean, they've got something to prove, right? After that last game, I think they were in a really good position, and they kind of threw it away, Scarf. They've got to be reeling after that one.
Yeah, I see Fine come into the chat afterwards saying that they didn't even think about the Wave 12 send, which is crazy, actually.
I saw Pavided as well. So Pavided obviously went straight into the sandbox after that game, and he said if he sorted his split out, he just fully holds. So that's the difference between good positioning and bad, right? It can either leak 192%, or he can full hold. So
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. But obviously he wasn't expecting the Kraken on 12, right? So
no,
can't blame him for it, but it happened, and that means they have to face this last chance match now, potentially even elimination from the tournament, right? So
but
everything comes down to this match. Go ahead.
They were looking really strong in that last series.
Yeah.
So I see them having good chances of winning here. Pavided, a really strong player, really showing up, just making minor mistakes with major fatality. Consequence.
I mean, you just can't afford to make mistakes like that at this level of the game, right? And we did say going into that match that this was going to be effectively the highest elo overall lobby that we had so far of the day, with Fine, Pavided, Ashton, in the whole, all outstanding players. And when you're playing at that level, even a minor mistake is just going to be really, really destructive, and we saw that happen. We saw Wave 11, Ashton leaks massive, into hole hold because he gets income king, and off the back of that, they just win the entire game on 12. So that's exactly what it comes down to. Like, these decisions might seem relatively minor, but absolutely turns the game on its head. And look, so we have all the players in our lobby now. This time, there's no coming back. So whoever wins this last chance match, they get a spot in the semi-final tomorrow. Whoever loses, their tournament is just over here. There's no coming back from this one. So you have to play everything, put everything you've got into this one. And we're about to find out who takes the lead. Game number 1. Let's go.
Another set of offensive spells for 11 or 12. We see Cartel Greed, Cartel Saboteur.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of emphasis on the early game, but that's to be expected with these Legion spells coming out.
Yeah, and Pavided just absolutely taking no prisoners, right? So we know that Cartel is his signature mastermind. We know he plays it very well. They have just come off the back of a bit of a humiliating defeat against Spontaneous Combustion, so he's taking no chances here against Wave 5 GG. Straight with the big guns, straight with the Cartel, hoping to close this one out very quickly and get that motivation back on track.
Yeah. Fine does have the catapult in his role. How long is he going to keep it?
I mean, his only other tier 6 is an egg, so we'll have to see. Yeah, he goes for the egg.
Yeah. I just noticed, is your camera inverted, or have you switched setup? Didn't your door used to be on the other side?
My camera is mirrored, yes.
Haha.
Alright. So, Fine getting starved, of course. That's how Saboteur works. 1M playing quite risky with the solo Cursed Casket. For anyone who's not a knower, the Cursed Casket does leak the entire wave if it gets snailed on one.
Yeah, it's one of those either-or scenarios. It either just holds the entire thing with no snail, or leaks everything with a snail.
Yeah, yeah. But he didn't get a snail, so he's absolutely fine. And now he's just in a pretty good position, I think. Kind of a risk he didn't really need to take, though, because he's adding the buzz here anyway. So why not just add it on wave 1 and don't risk your entire game on a snail?
He removed the buzz again and added the harpy.
Okay. Alright, now here's the snail post-income coming out from Fine. We'll have to see if that does anything. I don't think so, though. Wait. Does it? He gets one more cast, but it misses.
Ooh.
So the deadly snail, I mean, the buzz would have full held here, like, easily.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, yep, we do have the long, slow hold there from Pavided. And he's got a lot of Mythium.
And he's got 6 workers.
Yep. There's the Brute. Yeah, this is...
And Intense is not gonna like that.
This is kind of exactly what I was expecting here in Game 3. Like, Pavided, he's got something to prove, right? He had a bit of a rough game in the previous, and now he's just giving it everything he has to close this one out as quickly as possible. So we've got the Battle Brute. He's going to add a snail. Intense, though, he does have the Oathbreaker, which is obviously very good on wave 3. So we'll have to see how well he does here, because an 80 send is pretty bad.
Yeah, and the Oathbreaker is just going to be tanking everything, right? So it's going to go down rather quickly.
Let's keep eyes on this Oathbreaker. And yeah, the Nightmare's not tanking a single unit. The Oathbreaker dies very, very quickly indeed. Sure, the Nightmare's still able to two-shot the ones that got tapped by the Breaker, but they all seem to be dead now. And he is leaking 53% there. His teammate will cover, though. So the Casket is still alive. It's going to get one spell off on the wave. Probably the Brute reaches the King, but it shouldn't do too much damage by itself.
Brute definitely reaches the King.
Spell goes off, wave gets weakened. Yeah, he is able to kill all of the little hoppers at least, and there's just one Brute on the King. So how much damage can a single Brute do against a King on 3? Quite a lot, it seems.
8%? Wow.
Yeah,
8%.
That's a deadly Brute. But there we go. Pavided topping the power score table, showing us exactly why he's a 3.7k Giga Chad gamer.
He doesn't have the best build for this wave, but that doesn't matter when he's just getting a Dragon Turtle. And also Fire Archer is good here. Gonna take down the turtle, and then the Fire Archer is just gonna perfectly tank those 4 creeps. Crusher crushing it. Just giving the Harbinger all the time in the world to be someone.
Now here we have some imps coming out from Intense on 5. 1M doesn't have the Mythium to provide much of a threat though, so we'll have to see how well Fine can do against the imps. They're pretty deadly here.
Really are. The Gatling gun has good damage, obviously. Probably a good idea to add the Bone Crusher here.
Yeah. Now he needs this to tank the boss, which I think it should, like this.
I'm pretty sure it will.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah, really, really good tanking there from Fine. So the boss effectively does 0 damage. Yeah, the Crusher dies too quickly, so he would have liked more split tanking on his melee units for sure.
The imps are still in there.
Yeah,
and
kills
again.
One more, but still a 53% leak. So that's actually an exact match of what Intense leaked on wave 3, right?
Yeah, but now there are 3 wave creeps and the Crusher.
Yeah.
And 2 imps on the Crusher.
So Pavided should be able to cover for his teammate, I think.
Maybe the imps will get to the King. Or single imp, at least, is definitely.
Yeah, the Fire Archer's not able to kill the imps. They actually are relatively tanky for the early game.
get 750 HP in either of them, and natural
Yeah.
armor.
And look at that, the imps actually do basically the same amount of king damage that a single brute did. Alright, more income sends coming out. Fine is looking a little bit undervalued, and he is receiving a Bada Brute here as well on the resend. But he's building, of course, so that makes him a little bit closer. Pavida's playing it a bit more risky there, minus 120, but he is pretty strong on this wave.
He does have the 2 gate guards.
Yeah.
And some long time for the split with the Fire Archer. There's a Dino that's gonna go from the split to the main at like 33% HP.
Yeah, but I think the gate guards are just so strong here, he should be fine. Meanwhile, though, they actually added robos to their income sends, and as a result, look at this. 1M, that's a 65% leak. Intense, though, he... Oh, he actually is leaking. Okay, just a Drake, but still.
This is gonna be another, like, 15-20% king damage at least, right?
Yeah, yeah. 2 wave creeps, couple of Drakes, and a robo. More to the point, though, it's a lot more gold going to the side of Rampampam, so they're now in a very, very strong position. It's not quite wave 5 GG, but it's close.
Wave 6 GG.
Yeah. Look at these workers as well, Scov. So Pavidad is already up on 14 workers now.
That's illegal. You cannot be on 14 workers at 7.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. Yep, easy holds then just against the income sends from everyone, it looks like.
Yeah, Pavita didn't get an income send though, and it's just
No.
3 snails from Fine. So
Oh, he-
Pavita 370 down with 288 gold. Adds a gun here. Can upgrade a PV to a veteran, but you might need to do something about the split. No, he just adds the... Oh, he sells a skeleton to add another skeleton somewhere else.
I mean, I think he's going to be completely fine. He's only getting income sended here from 1M, so I think Pavidad should just be more than okay.
I can see my nest.
I mean, this is a 200 Mythium send. You have to think he could have been able to get something done if he went for a full send, but I can understand just wanting to secure his own economy as well there for 1M.
Yeah. I mean, Pavita is so far ahead, like trying to break him might not be the best idea. Fine though. It's not Fine.
Oh, Fine's actually leaking to the Dino. Wow. He must have got his gun killed really early on for some reason, right? Well, it's just as well that there was no full send against Pavidad then, because with Fine Waldoing like that against the Dino, this could have been dangerous.
That could have turned ugly for them. Oh. Jules.
Yeah, back on the 69% there with Jules. He,
Does this mean that Pavita and Fine are gonna lose this game?
I mean, last time, right? Maybe Jules just has a bit of a thing for Rampampam.
Maybe. Or maybe we're back at this, the insignificant sample size thingy.
Perhaps.
Bullsen coming out of Fine with a Brood, Robo and a Safety Mole. How is, how's 1M20 gonna do this? He is not looking
his
great
build
on
is
this wave.
garbage on 9, right?
He does have a Manta Ray.
Yeah, but like all of his damage is ranged. Obviously that's bad against wave 9.
Yeah. The Manta Ray just killed the Brood, but the Brood was on the Manta Ray.
Yeah, he's still leaking decently, I think.
The Harpies are stacking up, but they're hitting Carapaces.
Yeah, they
the
can't
moment.
kill them.
doing
67% leak there on 1M, so
The Harpies did around 300 damage each, while getting to full stacks.
yeah.
They were just tickling the Carapaces basically.
I mean, they're just terrible. Aren't they? They're awful on wave 9, and there was a mole there as well, so they just can't do any damage whatsoever.
5 harpies did a bit more damage than the Cage of Pain.
Yeah.
And they obviously lived a lot longer.
It looks like we've got some 1M20 fans in the Twitch chat cheering for their boy, and we'll have to see if he comes through. I've got to say, he's not looking too hot right now. They're going to have to do something special to come back into this. It's not over by any means, but Ram Pam Pam certainly have a good lead so far. So we'll have to see what Wave 5 GG can do to turn things around.
Workers are kind of evil. Even, not evil. Workers are evil.
And workers are evil. That's why nobody ever presses them. But here we go. So we've got a lot of pack leaders coming through on wave 11. There's a siege ram here from Intense, looking pretty good against everything that Fine has on his board. And the all-out assault as well picked up from everybody. It looks like we should see a decent amount of damage done on this wave.
I got a pack of Robos from 1M20. That's a lot of magic damage.
Now, there's a lot of magic damage.
I'm liking the stand out of Intense better though.
Yeah, the ram is really good against what Fine has, because like all of his damage is pierce. It's not just the gun; it's all of these howlers as well.
Yeah.
560 Mythium Send for Fine. For Vida, that's 540. His gun is going down really quickly just as the ram dies, and he's not going to kill much else whatsoever. This is a huge leak for Fine. 129%. Vida's doing much, much better, but that's still going to be a leak for him. Meanwhile, Intense, that's 83%, 72 for Fine. 1M actually doing the best. It seems that his fans gave him energy in the Twitch chat, leaking just 42%. As a result, they will survive this leak on the side of Wave 5 GG. Ram Pam Pam, meanwhile, they are taking a huge amount of king damage here.
Both teams are living here though, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, this has turned the game right around, I think. Wave 5, they were super far behind before this, and now I think things are looking pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely even in the sense that one slip up and it's over for either team.
Yeah.
But Pavida just so far ahead. Oh. Is he gonna put down the egg? I think he just wanted to reposition it, right?
Eggs are so risky at this stage, right? When you're...
Oh, he didn't want to push it. Because he doesn't have the gold for it anymore.
Yeah.
But since both teams took so much damage here, it's hard to say that the game really got turned around, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it is still 16 and 8% HP. It's just that no one can afford to make any mistakes, and
well,
we're gonna see if sending here is a mistake or not.
I was gonna say, speaking of mistakes, 1M shifted a huge amount of gold here on wave 12, but he's also just kind of...
He's building a Dread Knight?
I mean, what else can he build? Like, his units are all...
Else he can build. He could, I guess, Void Mantis?
Yeah, he's plus value, he's plus 30, but he's really weak here. Like, his units are just all bad on wave 13.
Intense, though, looking pretty decent. He's got the Avenger, he's got the Arc of Justice, he's got the Death Cap.
Yeah.
Those are not bad units here.
Well, they have to hold. They have 9% HP left on the king, so even a small leak will be enough to close this one out.
And
let's keep eyes on this Dread Knight if we can find it.
It's still alive in there.
Still alive, hasn't taken any damage yet.
No. He's not doing too bad. It's still kicking.
Oh.
There are just 3 wave creeps remaining. It's going down to 2.
Oh.
And the Void Manta.
The Arc of Justice goes down. That will be a leak on Intense, but The Dread Knight!
The
Easily
Dread Knight.
holding. 1M! I swear, as soon as his friends turned up in the Twitch chat, this guy's just switched on the game.
And are we gonna see another 69% loss out of because now the game is just completely...
They've absolutely flipped it on the head, yeah, from 69% favour there for Rampampam, now all the way back to 63 for Wave 5 GG. They've gone from being behind and praying for a miracle to actually in a commanding lead in this game.
They got the miracle.
They did. I mean, they earned it, right?
Yeah,
So 1M with that massive gold shift on Wave 12. Like, I think he shifted something around 500 gold there. Baited the send out on 13, where he added a huge amount of value. Not just held with his Pierce units, but covered for his teammate as well.
And now the big sends are coming out of 15, and what Pavidat had at some point looked like a really good build, but now it's just a ragtag bunch of...
He does still have value, though. So
He does
Pavidat's
have
still...
value, but he doesn't have damage. He does have tank value in the veterans, but...
Yeah. I mean, the
Okay, 7
Fatalizers
veterans,
can
that
be
is
okay.
800.
Like, when the Fatalizer starts ramping on the boss, it can do some good magic damage.
Yeah,
But the sends are
when does it
massive.
start when does it start ramming on the boss?
True.
And even if they live here, Pavidat is forced into 10... No, is it 9? It's 9 veterans.
They're
It's 10
going for
veterans.
full sends of their own, by the way. I have a pretty strong feeling that the game ends here. I just
Oh, the
don't
game-
know which way.
The game ends here. There are so many slime lavas, though. I think
Yeah.
they're pretty decent here.
I mean, these sends are absolutely huge. Scoff Troll, we've got 820 Mythium for Fine. We've got 860 for Pavided. And their front line is crumbling, it seems. He is getting those Fatalizers onto
Oh.
the boss, though. The boss is going
Yeah,
down really
also-
quickly there for
The button's
Pavided.
down there. Pavidat.
Shaman's dead as well. I mean, he's going to leak the Needler, but not much else. Fine, though, that's 103% leak for him. Will it be enough? There is a boss. There's 2 Needlers as well. I think this will be it.
They just leaked a bit too early.
Intense and 1M, they both leak as well. I think these guys also die. It's just whether or not they can kill their opponents quick enough, and I think they can, yes!
Pavidat and Fine first, and
Wow.
another 69% loss.
Yeah, that was crazy. It seems whenever Jules offers to 69 one of the teams, they just they don't know what to do with it. They crumble.
They can't handle it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, wouldn't you like completely shut down if Jules offered you one?
I know I wouldn't know what to do with all that pressure
No.
of being 69'd by someone like Jules. So it seems that is the curse. The 69% chance to win just always ends up losing the game. And what a comeback there from Wave 5 GG. It wasn't quite Wave 5, but Wave 15, you know, there's some symmetry in that.
And how is this gonna affect Fine and Pavidat's mentality? They've had 2 games in a row
Yeah.
now where they've been in a commanding lead and then they've lost it.
I know. It's really crushing, and they have to be feeling pretty rough right now, right? And motivation, morale, it definitely plays a part in a game like Legion, where it's all about strategy, all about thinking things through. And if you are just under pressure and on the back foot, it can affect the way that you think through your moves, and it can make you make the occasional mistake or blunder that you wouldn't make otherwise. And it looks like that's what's happening here to Fine and Pavida. They're 2 phenomenally good players, but they've just lost back-to-back games where they've been in the lead. Scoff Troll, like you say, it's tough, man. They need to snap out of this.
Yeah, they clearly know how to play well in the game. It's just they're just making these small mistakes. The 11 cent last game, the 13 cent this game. They're just a little more coordination, and then they have it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see. Look, for them, they are literally on their last life now. If Wave 5 GG win again here in Game 2, that's it. It's over. Rampampam are out of the tournament. They know that. So they're under more pressure now than they have been for the entire day so far. Everything comes down to this match for them. They need to win 2 games back to back. Can they do it? Can they snap out of the funk? Break the 69 curse? Let's see as we go into game number 2.
Well, there's no a lot of salt here, so maybe they can rest safely now. It's all economy and buff spells and late game scaling.
Yeah.
And Kingsguard Castle out of fine Pavidat because they see this late game, so let's get the late games mastermind options.
Mm-hmm.
Got Greed out of 1M20, and what will Intense go for?
Well, we'll see.
This is an intense choice.
Hey, Kingsguard as well. Now we have 2 catapults in the lineup, one for Pavidat, one for Intense. Let's see how many of them get picked.
So far they haven't been depicked. Well, I say that and then Pavidat goes. He had Avenger and Catapult in his role, and he picked neither of them.
Yeah.
He's got the castle, but he doesn't want the tier 6 units.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. Like, you choose your masterminds to play for the late game, and then you choose your role to play for the early game.
Yeah.
He does have the reroll though, so maybe just banking on if the game goes late, rerolling into a gate or something.
He does have some, like his units are not bad for the late game with Archer and Badger. Those are viable in the late game. And Intense, he does have the catapult in his role.
Crazy. He actually picked it. Wow.
The absolute mad lad.
Yeah. Let's see if he places it. Now, we do so far have a 0% win rate for the catapult in Nova Cup. Can Intense change that?
There's also the prestige in saying I was the first in Nova Cup to win with the catapult.
With catapult, sure. I mean, is that like playing with a handicap in golf?
No, because playing with a handicap means that you're worse.
Yeah.
And you get assisted.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's actually exactly not like that.
It's the exact opposite. Having your opponent pick a catapult is like playing with a handicap in golf.
Yes. So Ram Pam Pam are playing with a handicap by
Yes.
giving their opponent the catapult. I see. Alright, Pavidat does get snailed here. His archer does tank it. Is that enough for him to leak here or not? I think it is. 4 creeps there to a snail.
It's something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, obviously the Crusher perfectly holding the snail that he received over there. I mean, things already looking decent for Wave 5, right? They hold the snails, they leak their opponent. I mean, sure, it's a small leak there. Just 4 creeps, but it's something.
I mean, 4 creeps to wave 2 is, well, I mean, for my playstyle, unfortunately not enough to decide the game. But in general, I think it's pretty good that 4 whales hitting your teammate does not decide the game.
Yeah. Jaws is happy with it, though. He is now giving them the 56% win probability.
Just 13% away from losing the game.
True. Alright, there is a full 60 cent for Intense. So, Pavidat thinking he can leak him here, not going for the King Ops. Looks like he might be right.
I think, yeah, Daphne does 2-shot the wave, but the lizard does a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the lizard.
Only the lizard, okay.
Oh,
And 1M obviously will be covering as well. So just the single creep making it through there. Oh, Intense and 1M both spending their Mythium here, though. They're not going for the Wave 5 GG, which is their nomenclature.
I am very curious as to see what the clips that the Kaiba has made.
I couldn't possibly guess what that one might be.
No. Totally in the dark.
So the income sends here for everybody, it looks like, and they should all be completely fine. Fine probably would have leaked decently against, say, a Brute, but obviously there was no Brute forthcoming, so he's going to be... Wait, is he okay?
Yeah, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna get off the
Yeah,
spell.
he gets off
Intense.
spells, yeah. Intense, though. He actually leaks
Quite okay.
33% here with the Daphne. I didn't see that one coming.
Daphne and an Orchid Infiltrator.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy, but I guess he just had the Daphne, the Infiltrator, and 3 rats.
Mm-hmm.
So not entirely exactly impressive value.
Yeah.
Needs to build something here though. Oh, and he does the Treant.
The Treant and the boosted Infiltrator as well, so
Yeah.
he's taking no chances against a resend here on wave 5. Fine though, he's 9 workers here. He's being aggressive.
I mean, it is wave 5 with a Priestess.
Yeah, sure. And he has that Berserker for wave 6, right?
Yeah.
So definitely expect to see Ascend coming out from Intense. Will the Berserker be enough to keep Fine alive there? Well, I guess we'll find out.
And
yeah,
perfect tanking here.
The Treant's just so good. So good. When you first place it on wave 5 and it has that 20% buff, it's just perfect.
Tens does need to send here, and he gets just enough money for the...
Cannon, yeah. So he's just going for income. Fair enough. He probably, when he saw Fine's value, maybe he thought that he shifted. He actually didn't. He just pushed a ton of workers, but he still has enough gold for the Berserker, so...
And here it is. Berserker is down.
Yep.
And it's sold. And it's back exactly the same position. But
oh, he sold 2 Peewees to place 1 more in the split, so Fine actually really quite scared here, it seems, and rightly so, right? He's 145 under, with only really 1 good unit for the wave, but...
I mean, the Priestess is a fun unit, right? Because it's both really good and really bad for the wave.
Yeah, if it gets overwhelmed, it's garbage. If it perfectly split tanks 2 or 3 creeps, it's really good. But here, I mean, he actually leaks against the income send.
I think he's just expecting that.
Yeah.
It's sort of the situation where you're the best for 6, you're really great for 5, so just push hard 5.
Yeah.
Hold 5 with that, league a bit for 6, but you have had a lot of time with a lot of workers. So overall, you're just gonna be really happy.
Yeah.
Situation.
1M though, he is topping the power score.
Yeah. I mean, his build is very early game oriented right now.
Yeah, that's
All
true.
he really has that scales well is the Deep Coiler.
Yeah, a lot of his other units will fall off pretty rapidly. That's true. He has got options though, with the Berserker.
Yeah. I wonder if when we'll see the Crab Warlocks being added.
I'm sure we will at some point. He has no reroll, so that is his final roll there for 1M.
That's a final roll. Ooh.
Yeah. So he doesn't really have any late game to speak of. When we get past maybe wave 13, his roll just falls off hard.
I mean, obviously, Fatalizer is not a bad unit for late game, but
Yeah,
when that's all you've got.
that's all you've got. And he doesn't really have any synergy for the Fatalizer, right? I mean, sure, there's Dark Mage, but there's no other auras at all. More income coming out. Wave 5 GG, they are stockpiling their bricks, though, Scov Troll. We've got 180 on 1M, we've got 120 on Intense, and Wave 9's not looking too hot on the side of Fine and Pavidad. Pavidad in particular, like, I mean, sure, he's got some units, but all of this stuff is just dead value.
Yeah, and I think like he's not gonna get both Gate Guard and Violet for 9.
No, he can't afford both. He can pick one.
No.
He can have either a Harbinger or a Violet. He might even go for a Boom Tree or something like that. Yeah, and here's the Ogre.
Yeah, I definitely like the Violet the most, I think, and then adding another 3.
Mhm.
I think it just
Alright.
offers the most upfront damage. But here's the boom tree.
Here's the boom tree, and we've got a boom tree over here as well. But the Sens are massive, Scov. We've got Ogre Robo from 1M. We've got Triple Brute from Intense. Fine, he's not far off value, honestly. He's minus 60, but a lot of that value is bad. And Pavita, he's a bit further behind. And again, like we were saying, like these units just absolutely trash on Wave 9.
Is it worth to keep the Devilfish best as the tank here?
I mean, I don't know. Like either way, it's just not good on 9, right? I can see using it for tank value. Maybe hope to get one more Gate Guard summon or something like that. There goes the boom tree. I mean, he's actually killing what, the entire wave apart from the ogre? No, not quite. That's a 75% leak for him. Fine's done very well, but still that's a 42% leak for him. He did skillfully snipe all 4 of the brutes.
As you do.
Still a decent chunk of king damage.
Yeah, but 18% for this, it's not detrimental either.
Yeah,
Look,
true.
And Jules even saying that Fine Pavita came out of the exchange ahead here.
Yeah. Remember, he's on castle as well for Pavided. So if they're even at the end of wave 10, that actually means they're ahead.
Yeah. Pavita upgrading the Violet of all things here, so he's leaking here, no send.
I think he should be okay to no send, but we'll see.
But what does he have? Like, he has an elite archer, that's a good unit. I guess the 2 Devilfish are good tanks, and if the Gate Guard is allowed to like stand in the back, but it's not a lot of good value.
Yeah, I think it's enough against no send. Like if there was a send, sure, he's leaking, but what is it with these pack leaders on 11? By the way, we saw them from everybody in the previous game, and we're getting them again here. I mean, maybe Fine and Pavida know something that I don't. In fact, Fine and Pavida certainly know something that I don't. It's just specifically relating to pack leaders on 11. I'm not sure.
And maybe if you send a lot of other tanks with it, and then the wave. But did the wave attack that fast?
Yeah. I mean, it is a fast attacking wave, but the pack leader just dies super quickly, no? Is 1M shifting 100? Yes. 1M took Creditor. Okay, well that's a way that's a way for Rampampam to get back in the game.
But he also does have Crabmancer and Warlock.
Yeah, but his front line is just melting.
Yeah. And there's the Warlock gone.
Yeah. Now his teammates leaking as well against the pack leader Brute. Not much. That's a 42%. But I mean, 1M should have been able to hold here, right? Like if he just took any other Legion spell, he's holding and covering.
But what does he take Pulverizer for, right? Again,
Yeah, Pulverizer on a Berserker is not bad. It's a very fast attacking unit.
Oh yeah, he does have a. Yeah, that's true. Okay,
I guess, look, they have the king upgrades. Maybe they just think they can afford to take a bit of damage. And also, look, it's a bit of retroactive casting there, retrospective casting, because they full send. So then, of course, the Creditor looks a bit silly because they received the full send and they took some king damage. But if they just income king, all of a sudden the Creditor's a genius play, right?
Yeah.
So maybe 1M just had a different read.
And it's not bad at this stage either. Like.
Yep. And now he can full greed it, and he can just start to generate more and more value.
And he kind of needs the gold injection here to
Yeah.
snowball ahead, because his fight is not going to do it for him. He basically needs the gold to stay in the game.
Yeah, he does. Well, he successfully baited the send.
5 brutes.
Yeah.
Use the Fatalizer.
There's the good old Quinterbrute. We might reach Sextabrute again. That was a good one. And a Centaur coming out from Pervided into Intense.
And I like that Centaur. There are a lot of units.
Intense, I'm going to need you to use this Pulverizer, I think. The Legion spell that you picked up on Wave 11 and didn't use. I think maybe you should use that. Okay,
There it is.
He puts it on a gun, though.
Last second Gatling gun.
I mean, the Orchids boosted, they shred the wave very, very quickly. Honestly, he could have just put the Pulverizer on one of his boosted Orchids. I think that would have been a very good play.
Nah, I mean, maybe it's a bit better for this wave, particularly.
Yeah.
But overall, you want the...
Oh, he's holding regardless. It doesn't matter. Whatever he did was the right play, because he holds. Now, 1M, he's doing extremely well as well.
He's leaking a little bit.
Yeah. Does he kill the drill golem? Not quite. It's close. He's one hit off.
Oh.
And here comes their counter Senskov. This series, it's always about these kind of the baits, the sends from Ram Pam Pam, and then the counter attacks come through. Like, is this just deja vu? This seems pretty familiar.
Yeah. This is, we do see Income King out of Fine and Pervided.
Yeah. I mean, they need it. Look at these values. Fine, when he finishes building, he's going to be 400 under. Pervided, I mean, he's a little bit better. He's about 300 under.
Yeah.
But the Sens are big. There's Needlers, there's Pack Leaders, there's Centaurs. Oh my.
Pervided is not the worst in the world here. But I guess he's not the best either.
Yeah. It's 560 for Fine. It's 660 for Pervided. Will either of them be able to hold here? Now, Pervided, he's got pretty good units, as well as decent value. And also, I guess, like, the Needler is good damage, but doesn't really help the wave to stay alive against this.
And it takes some time for it to ramp up.
Yeah. It looks like it's enough, though. That's 123 for Pervided. That's 85 for Fine. I think they will survive here, right?
Yeah.
But they're just behind now. I think Wave 5 GG should be looking pretty darn solid by the end of this wave.
Yeah. Maybe they'll even go to 69% win chance.
Maybe. Oh, 70, they're safe! They're safe, Scott!
Alright, game is over, game is over.
Yeah.
It's not game 5 GG, it's game 5 GG.
Now, Intense, he still has that catapult hiding in his roll. And it's got the catapult's one good wave in the entire game. 17 coming up soon.
Yeah. Oh, I know how he's gonna win with catapult in this roll without ever putting it down. That's how they play it.
Yes. Does that count? Does that make Catapult have a 50% win rating if he never places it?
I mean, if you can win with, like, I don't know.
Win with 5 units? Win with an empty space?
Yeah.
Does the empty space have a 100% win rate? Here comes the send. It's wave 16.
Wave 16. Oh, look at the bears.
Yeah, I mean, bears are on fairs. We have Ram coming out from Intense and Pack Leaders as well. Nice slow waves to boot. And yeah, okay, Fine and Pervided, they are going for the send themselves. So I guess this is going to come down to a race. Everybody is pretty decently undervalue.
But I think Fine and Pervided are just so far behind in King HP that the race...
Yeah. And the boosted Orchids as well. Wait, is Intense not placing the catapult here? I'm confused. Huh. Interesting.
There's no way you place a catapult here.
But it's his tier 6. Surely he places it, right?
Yes, let's put down the big impact damage unit. At least there like Doomsday has some merit to 16 because of the AoE.
It's splash, yeah.
Oh, look at the gun.
Yeah, the gun is stuck solo on the ram. That is really bad for him. But with all of these deep coilers, 1M is doing extremely well. Meanwhile, Fine Leak 67. Intense has gone as well. But 1M, it seems, is holding for long enough.
20. He has the fans.
Yeah, the fans are here. 1M has done it, perhaps? Does the Kingsguard ever survive here? Wait, Kingsguard's broken! It's broken!
Kingsguard is just what? What is this Kingsguard? I mean, it's super far ahead. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's all good, Scov. It's all good. It's all good. It means that Intense now has a chance to play the catapult that we've all been dying to see.
That would be crazy if the catapult comes down now.
Yeah.
Does it count if you put it down when you've won the game already?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I also don't know when he would ever build it because it's bad on 18. It's bad on 19. I guess it can be good
really
damage for 20.
I think it's probably the best unit for 20, right?
It's going to be a lot of DPS on 20, yeah.
Intense respecting the chance of a resend here.
Yeah. Fine staying on value. 1M, they've both pushed decently.
Pavida
is suicide pushing, yeah. So they're going to try and end things on 18. Yeah. 1M has the Fatalizers, though. And it looks like we're going to get Octobrutes coming out here from Intense. Double Siege Ram from 1M. And the game definitely ends here, I think. The Sens are massive. The Kings are too low in HP. Will anyone be able to survive? Now, 1M, he is receiving the smallest send. Fine does not have very many workers at all. And 1M has triple Fatalizer here. Plus, of course, the Royal Guards are actually pretty good tank value on 18. We'll have to see if it's enough. I think with him only being minus 470, he might just full hold here. The boosted Orchids are strong as well.
There are a lot of them as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got 980 Mythium for Fine. I mean, he's good as well, right? He has Fatalizers of his own. He has Pulverizer too. Can it be enough? Pavida, he's going to leak massively. 1M's doing extremely well, but I don't know if it's quite enough. Pavida, 167% leak there. Intense. He's also doing very well. Yeah, the Fatalizers are down, but the Deep Coilers, now they're doing work. But Fine. Is it?
The gun doesn't get the stun log off.
Oh, his area goes. Fine leaks. And 1M with the hold. Surely this time it's GG. Wave 5.
There's no way that Kingsguard can keep him alive for this. Wow.
Not this time. Kingsguard, you might be overpowered, but not quite enough, it seems. And man, that was a 2-0 victory from 1M and Intense up against Ram Pam Pam, multiple-time Nova Cup champions. Absolutely demolished here by the side of Wave 5 GG. So very, very well played indeed to those guys. And yeah, I'm still very much on the fence about whether or not Catapult's allowed to have any win rate from that, though, because he didn't place it.
He had it in his role.
He picked it.
Wave 1.
He picked it. Yeah, he chose to have one of those possible units in his role. Just never found a place to play it, which is understandable. But we'll have to see. I mean, this was the series, man. This was certainly a series. Like Ram Pam Pam, 69%. That is their curse. That's how they lost against Spontaneous Combustion. That's how they lost against Wave 5 GG. And it seems, you know, Jules, he just places the evil eye on people and they no longer have a chance. But really, really well played there to Wave 5 GG. Clearly feeding on the energy of their fans in Twitch chat. Coasting to victory here in game number 2. So they've earned their spot in tomorrow's semi-final, Scofftrolled. But
yes.
Sadly, Ram Pam Pam, they're done. They're out of the tournament.
Well, they're just gonna reevaluate their game plan and come back again next month, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. There's nothing else to do. They need to pick Catapult, clearly, if you have it in your role, like as a mascot. You don't play it. Obviously, you don't play it. That would be crazy. You play it, you lose the game. We saw that with Slickins, right? But if you just have it sat there in your role as a lucky mascot, oh boy, that's how you win games.
That is so strong.
But that's all we've got time for, guys. That is it's been an absolute banger of a series, Skovtrod. I'm very happy that you joined me on the cast here today. It's been some really exciting games. Not much more to say, really. I think we've talked about everything. It's Saboteur, don't pick it unless you're Ashton. Catapult, don't play it.
You're intense.
Yeah, but you can have it. You can have it in your role. Just don't put it on the board. Like that would be that's crazy.
Unless you get to wave 20.
Yes.
If you get to wave 20, then it's a really good unit.
Then it's really good. Yeah. Because you've already got the tank value. You can afford to have a tier 6.
You don't need to split tank. Like, you don't need to split tank, and you don't want to split tank like probably from 16 on anyway.
Yeah.
Problem is, from 16 on, it's only good on 17 and 20.
Yeah.
And I get 21 again.
I'm sure it's fine on 21. Good damage, right? Kill the Legion King nice and quick.
I mean, I am like, it needs to have the best single target damage.
Yeah.
Of all units.
Yeah, because it has a massive downside in that it can't split tank.
If they made it somehow not be the best single target damage unit.
Yeah. Then it's unplayable, I guess.
That is truly unplayable.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's about all that we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I've certainly enjoyed the cast. Massive shout out to Skovtrod for joining. At least you've got enough hair for both members of the panel, it seems, which is good. That's why we have you on. You know, we've got to cover each other's shortcomings, I think.
Yes. That's why you brought the massive wiener.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't show that on stream. Massive congratulations to our victors. That's Ashton and In the Hole. They made it through in the top spot, and 1M and 1N for making it through on the last chance match. Really excited to see how both teams perform in tomorrow's semi-final. So Twitch chat, you're going to have to make sure you're back in time for that one. Same time tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the show, but for now, that's it. I'm done. Skovtrod, any last words from you?
Thank you for having me. Thanks to Twitch chat. It's been amazing. I always love being here with the cast.
Awesome.
These tournaments.
Awesome
experience.
Nice one, dude. Well, on that note, guys, that's enough for today, and we will see you back